Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome once again to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet. We get together, we talk about things that help us escape. I am your host, Blaine, and we got a fun episode today of watching Blaine go as he as he clicks away trying to develop a game. But we're gonna start with some waifus, so we'll have some fun before we descend into the fun. We'll have fun before we descend into more fun, is what I should say. Kampai, everyone. Happy 17th birthday to Sailor Moon. Wait a minute. Isn't Sailor Moon like 40 at this point? Wasn't she 17 when I was a kid? Might be time for a beard trim. You know it. You know it is. Minecraft Villager ASMR, exactly. Why doesn't this work? Why won't it open? More or less. 40 years of Transformers. Oh, it's the 40th Sweet 17. Got it. The medicine seller is back. Wait, what? What does that mean? Who's selling medicine around here? Oh, am I not on? There we go. I'm on live chat now. What else do I need? I need any list. We need anime reviews. Boom. Boom, boom. And boom, boom. Today's also Fauna's birthday? What? Everybody got a birthday today, apparently. That'd be wild. And alrighty. Saskia and Peach just so good. Needs another season. Gotta imagine Saskia and Peach is gonna get another season. It'd be weird if it didn't. They have such a good system set up. I'd be shocked if it doesn't do that. Mononoke is supposed to release a movie? Hold up. What do you mean? What are you saying? Mononoke, the movie? Film. Release date of July 26 in Japanese theaters, bringing the July 26, 2024, bringing the medicine seller back to the supernatural fray. Oh, that Mononoke. Medicine seller's top 10 husbando. Mash is over 50 years old. Duh! What? Oh, hold on, Veritex. That one didn't shock you, did it? That can't be a wow. You're talking about MASH. We had jokes about my grandparents watching MASH. Like, that has to be over 50 years old. What's up, Fondue? Oh, price is wrong, Bobby. All right, let's review some anime. Ninja Kamui. Awesome. This show merges ninjas and like a whole secret society of ninjas with backroom dealings of big business and like dark boardrooms where not Mark Zuckerberg is like trying to create his own perfect like area. Like this show is so good. If you're not watching something or you're bored, you're like, I don't know what to do right now. Watch Ninja Kamui. This show is so good. Absolutely love it. It follows the tropes, right? We have like super high tech super ninjas, right? And we've got the trope of them being just like crazy spec ops sort of units, but it also plays a little bit with it where it's like, oh, we got our power up. Oh, our power up's not powered up enough. Like, I guess we'll do something else, and like we get some like inside job work. I am very much enjoying this. Then you do an anime with ninjas and racing, but you couldn't see the racing. Zuck must create the metaverse. Oh, dude, Jemmy, it's so well done the way that the the Zuckerberg character is like integrated into the whole thing. I just really like data. What? Why? You guys will give me the perfect data. What? Okay, sure. I guess you can get your data. Like the Shinsengumi and Gintama. Little bit. But like at the Shinsengumi we're ninjas and not samurai. Where are you, Veritax, that you're like, look at all these 50-year-old shows? What's going on? 3-seed Kentucky falls to number 14 Oakland. Where are you, Veritax? What? Bro's just on like news Tinder, just like swiping away all the different stories. Like, oh, that's a cool story. That's a boring story. Oh, that's a cool story. Oh, that's a boring story. Like, what? You're Googling for other 40-year-olds. Well, no, but why? He's smoking the data. Sengoku Yoko. We get brought back to Dangyasu, and we begin our fight. Little bit of a meh episode overall. I mean, I'm here for it as a show. I definitely think that it's got what it takes to be solid. But that means that sometimes there's an episode where it's just let's get to a place, talk about fighting it, and then start the fight. Like that's just what's going to happen on a long running series like this. So, episode 11, not the best episode that we've had. I do like the fighting between the big like tiger brute and our main boy. And the fact that our samurai guy is finally like branching off on his own and able to like he's fighting against like sort of shadowy things right now, but like he's still fighting. I like that. Also, we finally revealed Tom's mom, and been able to deduce whether or not she does indeed have it going on. And yeah, I mean she's a fox spirit. Blah. He took the limitless pill. A little behind on Chain Soldier. I believe the one I watched just now was episode 8. And it's the one where they start... Because we've seen slave mode with Kyoka. We've seen slave mode with Himari? Yeah, Himari. I remembered. And now apparently you can lend your powers out, which is weird. And so she lends the power to Nei, and Nei uses it, and he gets all, like, super scouter. Like, he's got crazy eyes that go X-ray vision. He's got crazy ears and everything. And you're like, oh, that's fun. But wait a minute. This is slave power. Who's going to have to give it back? Because she's lent it out. And apparently it's the person who actually is using it. So Nei has to do a thing for him. But because she's cute and adorable, she just, like, gives him a peck on the cheek and says, good job. Like, and you're like, whoosh. Thank you, writers. Thank you, writers, for being wholesome at some level with this show. Thank you. That was much appreciated for sure. And then Shushu gets her chance, and we see the Wreck-It Ralph version of our Chain Soldier boy, and it's not that great. And she tries to get big and then squishes him because he doesn't get big either. Fun. This show's fun. If you're watching this show, you know it's fun. All right, waifu time. It is time again to change all the rankings, because all of the rankings gotta move. Oh man, S+. But why are you going out of town? I don't get it. Why you do that? Tenka with the Tenka's going down to B. I like Tenka's attitude. I like the forwardness, but when it's being clearly rebuffed, it's sort of like, all right, now you're a little annoying. All right, Tenka, come on, Tenka, you ain't gotta do this, no. But Yuki gets to stay up there. Tomoe's great. Giant hasn't been on screen recently. Joryu might a little more straightforward, a little more action heavy. No. Futari actually might get to move up. She's a gamer. She gets to move up to B. Hashtag gamers rise up. Naomi from Metallic Rouge should be at least C. All right, for you, she can go and C, I guess. Is Mrs. Fuyuki the Gyaru mom? Yes, she is the Gyaru mom. That is correct. You don't see any of the girls from Sasuke and Peeps up there? What? They're all up there. Look, we've got Elsa, Hoshizaki, Magical Pink, Otonari. They're all appropriately labeled. And also Nay gets to be best lolly as far as that goes, because that was adorable. That was a fun episode. Way to go. Nice job. Way to not lewd the lolly. I'm appreciative. All's right in the world now. Yeah, exactly. But here's a question. I like Kosume's recent episode that I saw from Snack Basue. But is it enough to move up and sort of return balance to our freaking thing? Does she get to move? No, Mio gets to go up because Mio's learned to cook. She can cook. That puts her right up there. I think she gets to beat out Rin because Rin was a little too timid, like right at the beginning. So, and then Giant can move to the end. Nice. We can move. We can roll. Where's Shura from Blue Exorcist? Isn't that next season? I think we're still. Because we're still in winter. I thought that was in the next one. Oh, Rinzu. She can go right where she belongs. And then Kuzunoha, the Fox Mommy. Fox Mommy pretty C tier. I don't see much outside of it being a fox spirit. I don't really see much as far as like characterization that gets me like, oh wow, look at that character. That's a great character. I just not seeing it yet. Maybe I will later. Yama no Kami, the mountain spirit. She helps them, but she also wants to hurt them. And I don't know what I think about this yet. Overall positive gains. She gets to sit in B tier. This whole what has to happen next, I don't know if she'll stay in B tier for right now. The phrase "let her cook" won't lead to your impending doom. Not yet, not today. Not a problem. She's just a sadist. Wait, who? Yamano Kami, the mountain spirit? No, she's just like super powerful, but also because of some stuff that Tama Yoko did, she's like, you're gonna have to pay a pretty big price, and you're gonna have to pick what that price is after you finish helping me. So it's sort of it's a strings attached assistance. So we will find out there. You'll see my waifu, Tiny Truck Kun. Kun is not the. It would be Tiny Truck Chan, would be the female Female version. Tiny Truck Coon would be on a different list. Maybe in the exclamation mark section. You've been watching Skimichi dub, so naturally a few episodes behind. I feel like even if you're a few behind, maybe you've already seen her learning. You've already seen her learning a bit. It's in the 2,000 pound tier. Heck yeah. All these people. Look at this. Look at this, everyone. I freaking called it. Here I am again on my own. So we have Truck Coon video where I'm using it to grab all of my mats that I need to finish off the gym. So I got 5 mats in there. It's like 450 pounds. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll film this because like there's people that buy trucks that never haul anything. They don't ever touch anything. It never goes in the dirt, never rolls across gravel. These pavement princesses that don't do anything. And I post this. And I'm like, yeah, let's laugh at pavement princesses. But what happens? Look, I made almost $2 off this short. I get almost 13,000 views at this point, and just a wall of comments about like tiny trucks used to be cheap, but now they're not. I'm like, what do you mean? They're still super cheap. And people who are like, I can still haul your truck and your truck's truck. Friggin' tits and ray guns out here blaspheming me. So then I replied, and I brought back the video of Tiny Truck hauling, this is 30 cinder blocks. Each cinder block's 40 pounds, so it's 1,200 pounds in just cinder blocks. Plus I've got pavers, I got rebar, I got some other tools and stuff. So I'm hauling over half a ton in the bed of Tiny Truck. 448. 448. And like a couple little meme comments from CP and IJP. Look at what you get. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, look, I did a thing, and people buy trucks that don't ever do half of what I do with my tiny truck. Everyone shows up to be like, I do. I say, look at what I can do. No one shows up. Where are you now, people who haul things? Where are you now? Oh, man. What's up, tits? Now you're great. Tits, one of the people in the world that actually utilizes is like, oh, I need a 3/4 ton. And you're like, wait, really? And it's like, yeah, I do, because I need to haul food for many, many creatures. Do you know how heavy a hay bale is? Not a bale. What are those rounds called? What the hell is the hay is a roll? Is that what it's called? Hay rick? Oh, it is a bale. Oh, weird. For some reason, I thought those giant round ones had a different name, and that the square ones were bales. I don't do enough farm stuff. I need to do more farm stuff. I got all this solar power now, and I'm like, I gotta get off the grid. I gotta start growing my own food, raising my own livestock. You always thought the hay rolls looked like cinnamon rolls? Yeah, like Wheaties. Like Wheaties. Wait, why is there an exclamation mark there? Install a new version of Unreal Engine. Nah, I won't do that. I'm just going to launch 532. Like shredded wheat. That's the one. You know how many people don't know shredded wheat used to come in like a big wheat? What up, Tim Talk? This your Blaine dog talking. Straight into your Tim's talking ears. How you doing, buddy? Are you excited about the new Acolyte? Does it look like it could have something interesting that could be fun to enjoy? Or does it look like it'll be boring and you'll wish you never saw it ever? Okay. Games. We're going to do games. We're going to do blank. No code. Actually, we'll do the we'll just do a third person game. That'll be easier. Okay. Calling this one Sengoku Wars. And we're giving it a new project folder. You're not excited for it? Oh. Not even an ounce. Not an ounce of interest. More boring Disney crap. The round ones are machine bailed. Yeah, I've seen there's a pumpkin patch near us that anytime you go down there during pumpkin season, or Halloween as some people call it, you can see them out there with that big that big hay bale wrapper, and that thing's wild. They get the bale like up on this thing, and then the plastic wrap starts going around it, and it just starts like spinning it around like, and then it's just fully like packed. I was like, what? Stuff's awesome. No Shin Hottie or Punisher. Why even bother? What are we here? Just to suffer? Okay. File. New. Basic. Okay. Get a new basic. And we're going to make a new... Don't worry, I'll show my stuff here in a second. How do I... Wait, I thought I could... Oh, I have to do it in here. Okay. I just put in a... How do I do just a new folder? Where are folders in this freaking right click? How is this the hardest thing for me to find right now? User interface, tools, foliage. Oh, new folder. Found it. Whew. I'm going to call this folder Unreal Stuff. Okay. Boom. Move. Move. Sandland is done? The creator died? I mean, Sandland was done a decade ago when the manga finished. You've worked on balers except for recycled materials? Oh, nice. You cover it for content, but that's Sparking Zero I'm really interested in. And Sandland. Yep. Can I not move these? All right, well, I guess I'm going to do it like this. And then let's get my tutorial man. Tutorial man! Because how can we do anything on the internet if we aren't listening to a funny Swedish man tell us how to program? Okay, source control, project creation, I don't care about that. Project setup. I want to watch the setup. This might be useful. You've already watched the first episode of Sandland. It's off to a great start. They dropped 7 episodes, right? Like it was just like bam, here you go. Been keeping up with Shogun.
Completely empty for now.
All right.
If I go here in the bottom left corner, I can expand this view here that shows me
Learning
all the
time.
content and everything, and we can see that there's nothing. Like it's completely empty. And actually, I'm going to keep it open because I don't know why it will be collapsed. Like it's more useful to have this open anyway.
Wait, hold on. How did you?
Game mode, player controller, pound, and probably some other stuff. It's time to set up this project. So this is our project. It's completely empty for now. If I go here in the bottom left corner, I can expand this view here that shows me all the content and everything, and we can see that there's nothing. Like it's completely empty.
Can I delete this stuff?
Keep it open because I don't know why it will be collapsed. Like it's more useful to have this open anyway.
No.
So we're
Okay.
just gonna have it there. And we're going to create our first asset, which is the level. So the level we are in right now, we're just gonna save it. But if you don't have that level open, we can open it via a file at the top left corner, then new level.
This is wild.
Then you can select
big
your
old
level.
thing.
Actually, I'm going to select the first one, but you can select any other one if you want. So it should
Yep.
open.
I made it
that level
new.
for me. And once that level is open, I can do a Control S to save the level. So I'm going to save it in a new folder that I'm going to call Maps. And
File,
inside
save
it,
current
the
level.
name here, I'm going to name it L for levels. Then I'm going to name it Entry because it's going to be the entry level of our game and
L.
of our project. Then
L
I
entry.
click Save.
Looks like
I can now
LE.
see in the folders here that I have my new level. So as I said, I want to open this level when Unreal starts, and I also want it to open when the game starts. So once we're done with our project, we can package the game. And
Oh,
when the
maps,
player
L entry, there we
opens
go.
a launcher on his computer, the first level he's going to end up in is that level, and then we can show a menu or do anything to lead the player to another level. So to tell Unreal to use that level as entry point, we're going to go in the project settings, which are in Edit, at the top left corner.
Project settings.
Project settings. Then I'm going to maximize this window. And the category we're looking for is Maps and Modes. I'm just going to click on it. And here we can see two levels.
Maps
They are
and
the two
modes.
default levels that are used by Unreal. The first one is the editor startup map, which
L
is
entry. Oh,
the
nifty.
editor start.
That's actually
The second
useful.
one is game default map, which is the map that is going to open once we launch the game. In our case, we want both maps to be the same. So I'm just going to go in
Change
the
them both to
drop-down
L
menu,
entry.
select my level, so L entry, and do the same thing for the second one. Once we're done, we can go back to the main tab. Before we go
Done.
and create our own camera controls, there's a few things that are important to know when we're using Unreal. And to explain them to you, I'm going to press play. So here we are in the default level, and if we click in the viewport, we see that we can move. So we can move around, go up, down. If I move my mouse,
I got the atomic
the
robot
camera,
rolling
and
around.
everything. These controls are not coming from nowhere. They are given to us by Unreal when we are in the default level. But where do they come from? So I'm just going to stop.
They come
with
from the
escape
pound.
So I can get my cursor back. And I'm going to play again. Here on the right, we have the list of all the actors that are in the game at the moment.
Right.
It's pretty much the same list that, let's say, if I
All right,
press
skip
stop
ahead,
again,
buddy.
are also and press the player the game and move around without having to add the game mode to the project setting. Here we were in the category Maps and Modes, so it contains the maps and the modes, which is the game mode. So if we look at the game mode category, there's the game mode base right here,
Yep,
which
there
is the
it is.
value for the default game mode, which explains why we are able to play the game and move around without having to add any code ourselves. But what if we want to add our own code?
Make our own.
Well, we have to.
It's T1000 game. I did it.
This is the game mode that we're gonna use, which is ours.
I'm a game designer already.
In that
It
game
worked.
mode, we're going to tell Unreal, okay, for the pound, let's spawn our pound, and for the player controller, let's do the same thing. Let's content. I'm going to write controller, and this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go back in the main tab.
Okay, main
It's
tab.
finally time to create our first blueprints.
Yay.
We're going back to content. I'm going
Yep,
to right click on the folder, create a new folder.
New folder.
I'm going to call blueprints.
Oh, you're
In
making
that
one called.
folder, I'm going to create another folder, which I'm going to name core. The idea is that the core folder is going to contain all the code contributing to the main mechanics of our game.
So the blueprints.
So the camera, the grid,
Okay,
the
there we go.
turn-based system, the units, the spells, everything that is core to the main gameplay. So in the core folder,
I
I'm
will
going
be
to create
accepting
another
ESG
folder
money.
that I'm going to call player.
Is ESG money green?
Blueprints. So I'm going to right click and click on blueprint class.
Hold on a second.
In-
I'm gonna make a new one. Call it. Oh no.
Otherwise,
Oops.
it's time to learn. But what's a source control? It's a little software that gives you the possibility to make
Hold on.
backups of
I can
your
go back.
project. Tab. And it's fine stuff and not his stuff. So let's click. So the camera, the grid, the turn-based system, the units, the spells, everything that is core to the main gameplay. So in the core folder, I'm going to create another
Winds
folder
of Winter.
that I'm going to call
For
player.
sure.
And this is where we're going to create our blueprint.
Player.
So
Okay.
I'm going to right click and click on blueprint class.
Blueprint class.
In here, Unreal asks us which kind of
An
class
actor,
we want
right?
to create. So we're going to create
We're doing
a
the
few
game
of
mode.
them. And the first one is the game mode base. So we're going to create our own game mode to tell Unreal
Game mode.
to use our stuff and not his stuff. So let's click on game mode base.
Game mode base.
I'm going to call it BP_GM to keep it short.
Game
Then
mode.
I'm going to select it and Control S to save it. Once that's done, we finally have our own game mode. So
Okay.
we can tell Unreal to use it and stop using his own default game mode. So I'm going to go in the project settings.
Project
here,
settings.
and we're
Change
going
this to
replace the game
BPGM.
mode base. So click on game mode base, select BPGM. Then go back to the main tab. So that's nice, we have our own game mode. But now we need to use that game mode to tell Unreal to use our own player controller and pawn, which we don't have right now. So let's create them. Right click, blueprint class. In the list here, we see player controller.
Pound.
Let's create it. Player controller.
Player
I'm
controller.
going to name it BP_PC to keep it short.
Player
Control
controller.
S to save it.
Makes sense.
And finally the pawn. So right click, blueprint class again.
The
and
pawn.
Select the pawn.
BP_pound.
BP_pawn, which is
I'm way ahead of you, buddy.
Control S to save it. It's now time to tell our game mode to use our pawn and our player controller. So we're
Okay.
going to open it. So double click on the game mode. If it is the view you're seeing, just click.
Oh wait, hold on. I gotta change this. I finally found there's a setting where I can make these open up in the main window. So I go edit, editor preferences. And even that is like a wacky window right now. There we go. Editor preferences, asset editor in main window. Okay. So now when I open stuff, it should open up in the main window. Construction event graph, the viewport.
Open full blueprint editor here.
Yep, I'm in the
We're
full
just going
blue.
to open the real blueprint editor. And then we can maximize the window.
For sure. Well,
We're
I
going to
half
go
max
in
it.
Class default at the top here.
Class defaults. Okay.
And on the right side, we can see the player controller and the pawn that are used by Unreal when we use that specific game.
Hold on, make you bigger, buddy.
In our case, we want to replace them. So
Yeah,
we are
player
going to
controller
select
class,
the
make it
player
mine.
controller,
BPPC.
replace it with
Yeah.
Our new BP.
But is it default pawn class?
And
Is
we're
that the
going
one?
to select the
Yeah, okay.
default pawn class.
Default pawn class. Got it. Okay. So we're going to BPPC. So this is setting it up so that everything that I make is what
And
is the
replace
game
it
is going to be
with our
running.
own BP pawn. And that's it. We can
Need
compile
a little more.
and save this blueprint.
Compile.
And then we can go back to the main tab. So let's
Save.
try this. If I press play now. On the right side, I can see my BPGM,
Okay.
my BP pawn, and my BP PC.
I do.
But
I
what
see
if I
that.
try to move around? So I'm going to click on the viewport and
I
try
can't
to
move
some
around because I
WSD,
haven't given it the
and
ability to
nothing
move yet.
works. Nothing happens, nothing works. And this is because neither our pawn or player controllers contain any code that tells Unreal what to do when we press our keys on our keyboard or
Correct.
when we're moving our mouse. So we are really starting from nothing, which is what we want. So let's press stop. The last thing I want to do before ending this video is to show the cursor in game, because we're gonna need it for our game, but also because it's super annoying that it's hidden every time we press
For
play.
sure.
So we're going to go in BP PC.
BPPC.
Here I can go in the event graph
Event graph.
And we can see that we have two events here.
Yep. Begin play.
I'm going to
Tick.
delete the tick because we don't need it.
Tick.
And we're going to use the begin play. If you deleted your begin play by mistake, you can always right click and search
Just make
for
it again.
begin play, which is going to let you create it again. So click on begin play and it's back. But what is the begin play? In short, it's an event that is called when this actor spawns in the world. It's pretty much the first thing that the actor is going to do while it becomes active.
Is that
So
it? I
let's
just
say
make
the
it
game
show
mode
mouse
spawns.
cursor.
The first thing the game mode does is spawning the player controller. So the player controller
See if I got
spawns.
it. Compile.
And once the
entry,
player controller is
play,
spawned and
click.
active in game, this
I can still
event
see
will
it
be
even though I'm
called,
clicked in there.
and it will execute any code that is attached to it.
Cool.
So we're going to
See
use
if I got it
to
right.
tell Unreal that we want to see our mouse cursor in game. So to do that,
Where's this guy from?
going to
I keep saying Swedish,
and
but I don't
type
know that he actually is.
mouse cursor. Here we can see all the functions, event, callback, and everything that is related to the mouse cursor that we have access while we are in the player controller.
Yep.
And the one we're looking for is the last one.
Set show.
Mouse cursor.
Woo!
With the red line on the left. So click on this. It creates a node that is a set
Yep.
for the variable show mouse cursor.
Yep.
Perfect. That's what we want.
That
We're
is.
going to attach it to the begin play. Here the default value is false because this checkbox is unchecked. So we're going to check it because we want the show mouse cursor to be true. And then we can go test it. So I'm going to compile and save. Then go back to the main tab and press play. If I click on the viewport now, I still have my mouse cursor.
You
Yay!
do.
So I can click on stuff around, click back on the viewport, do actions in game, which we can't right now because we don't have any actions to do. And then we can simply go back at the top and press stop if we want to, instead of pressing escape on the keyboard. And we have everything we need
Enhanced
set up to
input
be able to
actions.
create our own camera control in the next video. But for now, let's go in Source Tree to submit our changes, to make sure we don't lose anything until then. So in Source Tree, I have my default
that's right. He's got
engine
his
that
thing,
contains
like,
the
all saved up.
changes to the level.
He's using a
Okay, the camera moved.
an advanced form of it's called GitHub. If anyone's unfamiliar with it, I know, wild, crazy tech. No, he's using a source controller, so anytime that he like saves or does anything with his game, he's gonna save it to the source controller, so that if he's anywhere in the world or if he has other people working on it, they can always pull the data from the source. GitHub is a good registry for this. Project Source, I think, is the one he's using, so you can always do these kind of things where you're working with multiple people or multiple trying to do things. We are going to be going off script in this next video, so go us, because he's working an older version of Unreal, and we have a new version of Unreal that no longer uses the axis inputs the way that he sets them up.
Camera movement. Hey boy, okay. So we should be able to click on viewport, and it is what we're going to do today. So we're going to open the pawn.
The pound.
Here in the viewport tab, so let's say if you're in there, you can click on viewport.
Viewport.
I'm going to add a few components because right now the pawn is pretty empty. There's just the
Gonna add a
default
spring
root
arm.
here. So I'm going to add a few
And then
components.
under the spring
The
arm, we're
first
going
one
to add
we're
a
going to
camera.
need is a camera because we're going to use this pawn as our main camera. So in the top left corner, we can add a component and we can scroll down to find the camera right here. So camera, click on it to add it. When you select the camera on the right side, you can adjust all the settings that you want. So let's say you want an orthographic camera instead of a perspective camera.
I do.
Or if you want to adjust the field of view, or
I
if
do
you have
want an
any,
ortho camera. How did you know,
setting
buddy?
that you want to set also. But right now I'm just going to leave it as is because the default settings are pretty good for us. And the second component I'm going to need is the spring arm. So I'm going to add another component.
Why do you add it
And I'm
second?
gonna
Why would you
scroll
not add
until
the camera first?
Section
Or add the
here
spring
and
first?
Click on spring arm. And I have all the components that I need for now. So I have the spring arm and the camera. Right now my camera is not placed at the right position because I want it to be under the spring arm, which is the opposite of what we have right now. So I'm just going to take the spring arm and detach it from the camera by dragging it onto the camera. So it's going to detach it from it. And then I'm going to take the camera and attach it to the spring arm, which moves it in the viewport. The reason why it moved is because if I select the spring arm, I can see the red line here. It moved the camera to the end of the spring arm. So this is the length of the whole spring arm. and it plays the camera right after it. This feature is pretty cool because it's going to help us build our zoom or camera zoom. Because let's say if you go on the right.
Technically, I don't need, because I do know some stuff with the orthographic camera. So the orthographic camera, rather than using like perspective or like an actual camera where you'd move it in and out, you physically tell the orthographic camera the width that you want it to project. Because the orthographic camera, if you look at this, see how all the lines are straight, like it's a perfect grid, which is exactly what we want for a sort of Advanced Wars Fire Emblem type game, right? And if I switch the camera to perspective and save it, and then we watch this, I'm still looking straight down. Let me fix the spring arm here. Make it longer. Oh, am I still? There we go. You can't edit things when it's working. If I make the spring arm like 1,000. And I hit play, there's like some warping on the edges here because it's like a perspective type camera, right? Probably easier to see if I have it like maximized. But because of that, we want to use the orthographic camera. Because even if it's 1,000 whatever's away, which I shouldn't make it 1,000. I should make it much closer. The perspective camera is always going to give us like that weird perspective thing. Bring this back down to 500, make my camera ortho, and save that up, compile it up, save, make sure I still got it. Bingo. Much more crisp.
Side here, there's the target arm length. If you change that value here, you can see the camera move.
Some people used to change fake an ortho camera in Unreal. Like I found some tutorials where they literally just send the camera like as far out as they can in the world and have it just be a very narrow, like a 10% perspective. Sort of how you would have to fake a moon landing.
Moving. And we're going to use it to zoom out and zoom back in.
We will not. We will be setting the ortho width.
To let it to a value of 700. It doesn't really matter. While we are in the spring arm, there's a few other settings that I want to change. So the first one is the do collision test. I want it to be false because what it does is if there's an obstacle in between the root of the spring arm and the camera, it's going to move the camera forward until it's not blocked by that obstacle anymore. Which is not a behavior that we want to have right now.
Correct.
We can add it in the future if we want to, but for now, I'm just going to disable it. It's going to help us build our own camera without having to deal with some less predictable movement, let's say. And the last setting is the camera orientation, because right now it's flat with the ground. So let's say the grid is my ground here, so I'm going to have
They're gonna crank it up, give it that sort of 60-degree look, right? That
Since
little.
we didn't stop the game, it means that there is the camera here that is back in the pawn. So let's now move the camera at runtime. The first thing we're going to do is the camera zoom because we have most of the logic already handled by the target arm length here. So let's say we want to zoom in or zoom out. The only thing we have to change is that value over here, the target arm length. And then Unreal is going to adjust the camera for us. So let's go in the event graph here. Here we have all the default events, which I don't want. So I'm just going to
I don't want any of these either.
Perfect. Now we have an empty event graph. In my case, I want to be able to control the zoom with my mouse wheel, like in the editor. So how do we access that? Well, we can simply right-click and search for mouse wheel. And here we have a few events. The one that we could use is the mouse wheel axis. So let's click on it for now.
Yep.
And we have it here, right here. This event is automatically called by Unreal and it will work perfectly, but it's not really the best option.
Okay.
Because let's say you have a controller and a mouse and let's say you want to be able to zoom with, I don't know, the keyboard.
Oh, that's right. There's a new controller thingy.
Create all those events right here and then link them together to end up with the same result. It will be a bit messy, I think. And this is exactly why Unreal already has a setup to handle multiple inputs that controls the same event. And we're going to use it. So let's delete that event right here.
Sounds great.
And we go in the project settings. If you closed it, you can always reopen it with edit.
I think this is where we don't
in here,
go.
we can go on the left and go in the category input. At the top, in the bindings, we have two options for us, the axis or the action. Right now, we want to have an axis, so I'm going to add an axis and expand it.
Yeah, so axis and action mapping are now depreciated. They use the enhanced input actions and input mapping context instead. So there was another video I watched on Unreal Engine input axis enhanced. Is that what it was? Or just input action? Input mapping context? Okay, hold on. Let me find my video. Here we are.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. So in today's video, what we're going to be going over is
You
a
gotta
new
talk
enhanced
faster, bro.
mapping
I can't
system
handle you.
inside of Unreal Engine 5.1 and beyond. So as you may have noticed, if you've updated to Unreal Engine 5.1,
That's better.
the normal action mappings and axis mappings and all that are now deprecated, and they've been replaced with a new
It's called
enhanced input
depreciated.
action system.
Is it
Now, this can
deprecated?
be a little bit confusing
Really?
just to wrap your head around, but once you do understand it, you'll notice this is actually very, very powerful and a lot better than the old system, which is why we're going to be going over how to use it today.
Show
Now
me.
today, I'm just going to be creating a very basic system of creating... Turn it off again, sorry. So I'm going to just turn it on and off. Like project settings. If you go down to input, this is obviously where it used to be. So we have our action mappings and axis mappings. You can still add these, and I believe they do probably still work, but obviously they're not the good versions to use anymore.
Right.
So you'll notice here it says, notice we have all these different, we have all the different platforms here, input actions and input mapping context instead. Now in the engine, we also now have enhanced input here. This isn't what we're going to be using, however, you'll notice we have all these different, we have all the different platforms here, but this isn't where we do it. We don't do it in the project settings anymore.
Correct.
So we're going to close that. I just wanted to show you that quick thing. What we're going to do is open up our content browser. I've created a new folder called input, so I'm just going to put it in here. And we're going to right click.
Make a new folder, call it input.
Go to input in here, so we have input, and we're going to create an input action. So I'm going to
Input
name this IA for input action, then underscore flashlight. As this is what I would name my action mapping, I would just call it flashlight. So I'm putting IA for input action, then flashlight. Then we're going to open it up straight away. Now this may look fairly similar to before. So before, when you created an action mapping and got it inside of your event graphing blueprint, if you were to select it, you might get something that looks like this come up on the right-hand side. So consume input, we can obviously see if it consumes the input, so nothing else will work with this, or if we want it to trigger and pause, resolve mappings, all this great stuff, we do that inside of this blueprint instead.
Okay.
We can also change the value type, so it's a Boolean, float, vector 2D, or vector. I'm just going to leave it as a digital ball for the moment.
I need it as
for this one,
a
and I don't
float.
need to worry about it. And the triggers and modifiers, I'm also not going to add on here. Obviously, you can add one and see what these are. So you've got corded action, combo, down, hold and release. And if you hover over these, you get all these different descriptions of what they do as well. So hold and release, trigger fires when input is released after having been actuated for at least hold time threshold seconds. So basically, what all of this means is before, if we wanted to do custom things with our input actions, we had to do our...
We're making a game, Flaccid. We're making a game in Unreal Engine, learning about Unreal Engines.
So if we wanted something to happen when holding it down, we'd have to set that up ourselves using delays and loops and all that stuff. But now we can just do it with hold. This basically means it's going to be able to do it for us, so we don't need to do everything ourselves, which is why it's a much better system. And the same with modifiers, you can click on it, hover over these to see them all again, like this. But for me, this is just all going to be fine by default. Then I'm going to save that and close it.
That's it?
The next thing we want to do is go back to our content browser, right-click, go back to input, and create an input mapping context. So we've created our input action. Now we need our input mapping, so we can actually map to that input. So we're going to create that, and I'm just going to name this My Game Input Mapping, or IM, and then the name of your game, or whatever it is that you want to do.
Input mapping.
And we're going to open it up straight away. Now this should also look fairly familiar, because this should now just look like your edit project settings inputs that we had before. So if you were to press add action mapping, again, this is where it looks similar. So you can choose what it's going to be. So instead of naming it here, you choose your input action. So we've got flashlight, and then you just choose the key you want. Or I can press this here, and then press F, as I want it to be on the F key for flashlight.
Oh, baby. Okay. So I have to change this mouse. Scroll mouse wheel axis. Okay. I'm figuring it out.
And you can again do triggers and modifiers in here. Is player mappable? So if true, then this action key mapping will be exposed as a player mappable key, basically meaning the player can change it, so the player can map it. And obviously if you tick that, then you have access to the options for it but I'm not going to be going over that in this video. However, I will probably make a video on that in the future. It's just obviously something more advanced, so we don't need to do it in this video right now. But again, that's all we need to do. So we've got our input action, and we've got the key we're going to use to fire off that input action.
Okay.
So we're going to save this and close it.
Save it and close it. Got it. Saving, closing. Closing that one too.
And I should say all of this is also the same if you're doing axes mappings. You'd obviously just, if I open the input action here, instead of the value type being digital, you'd use axes 1D float. So then you can obviously use 1 and -1 to go forwards and backwards like we used it before. But again, today's video, I'm just doing a flashlight with an action mapping, not an axes mapping. But it's very, very similar. So we're going to close those, and now we're going to open up our player blueprints to actually use this action mapping.
Okay. Go into my pawn, into my camera. Okay.
So obviously it doesn't have to be your player blueprint, but that's where it's going to be for me, as it's a flashlight.
Right.
So in here, you might notice this is a little bit different as well, as obviously they're now using the new enhanced system.
This is wild.
So what they're doing for the camera input is, you can see here, this is what they're going to look like, but we're going to go over it more soon. So you've got left, right, up, down.
Enhanced input action, IA look. So enhanced. Is that all one word? Input action. Maybe I just do IA zoom. Oh, there it is. Okay. IA zoom. Okay. Okay. Wrong gator. The other gator. They found a missing guy in one of our reservoirs last week. Oh no! Let's see. If I do triggered, let's do print screen, print string, and print the action value. Okay. Compile. And that's in the camera. That's in our thing. Let's see if I can get it to... I can't get it to print. Okay, never mind. Did I... Input action? Can I do that one too? No, that's not going to work. Okay, hold on. All right.
Down, and you'll notice all of this just looks a lot clearer.
Show me this again.
Enhanced system. So what they're doing for the camera input is, you can see here, this is what they're going to look like, but we're going to go over it more soon. So you've got left, right, up, down, and you'll notice all of this just looks a lot cleaner and a lot more efficient, and it's just better connected, and it runs a lot better.
It sure does look better.
And obviously we have more options and control over it all as well. So on event begin play, what they're doing is they're adding the input mapping. So they're casting to the player controller to get the correct player controller, then getting that enhanced input local player subsystem, and then they're adding the mapping context to that. So essentially what we're doing is just mapping the mapping context to the player controller's enhanced input subsystem. And the enhanced input subsystem is again a part of this new enhanced input mappings that we need to be able to use. Now you'll notice again, they've already added one on here. However, you can have multiple mapping contexts for one local subsystem. So I'm going to be doing that as well just to show you. So I have to come out of the enhanced input local player subsystem, or what I'm going to do is just come out of this root node. I can then do add mapping context once again, like they've got. I'm just going to connect that into the end here. So it's going to be 5.
They're going to drain and decontaminate it. Good. If they just pull them out and like, oh, splash some bleach in there, it'll be okay. Like, that would be terrifying.
Right off of event begin play as well, when the rest of this code is doing it. If you don't add in the mapping context, you're obviously not going to be able to use your input actions. It's just not.
Oh, wait, hold on, what?
Going to work like they've got. I'm just going to connect that. So I'm going to be doing that as well just to show you. So I have to come out of the enhanced input local player subsystem, or what I'm going to do is just come out of this root node. I can then do add mapping context once again for them. Enhanced, we have more options and control over it all as well. So on event begin play, what they're doing is they're adding the input mapping. So they're casting to the player controller to get the correct player controller, then getting that enhanced input local player subsystem, and then they're adding the mapping context to that. So essentially what we're doing...
Oh, interesting. Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me roll it back a hair. Do I want this on the camera? PP Pawn self, maybe? Maybe on PP Pawn self. Okay. This should all be in the same thing. Okay. On begin play. Going to... cast to player controller. Okay. All right, we're gonna cast to player controller. Okay, and we're going to get controller. Target self, return this value, it goes in there. Okay. Get controller to cast player, enhanced input local player subsystem. Okay. And that's off of the bottom one. Enhanced input local player subsystem. Got it. And then this is
they're
valid?
adding the input mapping. So they're casting to the player controller to get the correct player controller, then getting that enhanced input.
Is valid? No, okay. Is that an attribute is valid? Question mark is valid? Is valid? Nope, not that one. Maybe I'll make it context sensitive. Question mark is valid. There we go. Is valid. And then if is valid, we will add mapping. Add mapping context. Okay. And I need this to also go into the target.
Put local player subsystem, and then they're adding the mapping context to that. So essentially what we're doing is just apping the mapping context to the player controller's enhanced input subsystem. And the enhanced input subsystem is, again, a part of this new enhanced input mappings that we need to be able to use.
Right.
Now, you'll notice, again, they've already added one on here. However, you can have multiple mapping contexts for one local.
This one. the one I called it. Compile, entry, play. Aha! It just prints hello every time I scroll my mouse back and forth. But I am catching the mouse scroll. So this is, we're doing it. We figured out how to use the new input action mapping. Okay, you guys go over there. Can I add notes? How do I create a comments? Okay. And I'm going to call it, make this way darker, please. Thank you. Okay, and the comment is input action mapping init. Beautiful. Okay. So then now that I got that, I want to input action. I want to wait, hold on. I want to take the action value. Okay. Let's take a look at what the action value is that I get off of scroll wheel. -1, 1. -1, 1. Okay. It's always -1 or 1. Beautiful. Beautiful! What's going on, Angry Canadian?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I hope you're not too angry today.
I mean, if you asked me this yesterday, I'd be pretty angry, but I'm fine now.
Oh, good. I'm glad whatever happened yesterday is no longer a problem.
Yes.
Okay. So, let's see. If I do, when it's triggered, I want to do set ortho width on the camera component. Bingo. And I want this to be add. Oh, oops, wrong one. No, I want to just take it straight off of this. Oh wait, no. I'm gonna come off of this. I'm gonna do add because that's an operator. Oh no, hold on. I want to take it off of this to add. There we go. So we're gonna take the get ortho width. So the original ortho width is going to go into the bottom, and then the action value will go on the top, and those two will then set the new ortho width. Okay? I think that's what I'm doing here. Unresolved compiling errors. Dang it. Failed to compile. Why? Why?
Well, it looks like this game is still broken.
Oh, for sure. How do I make it just add numbers? What does the error say?
Gemini, what happened yesterday? I watched the season finale for Halo 2 or Halo Season 2, and it was insane. Just besides like lore discrepancies, the way the story is written is just like terrible. There's all these like side stories happening with characters that have like no one's really has an invested interest in, and then we're supposed to like pay attention to their stories and how they interact with people, and I don't know. It's just boring. It's pretty boring.
I'm scrolling in.
Oh, cool.
I'm scrolling out. It worked. But it's working backwards. So do I just I take this value and I multiply by -1, and then I plug it into there to invert. That way scroll forward gets me closer, or scroll up gets me closer, I think. Okay. Save, compile, you're all good. Play, and I'm scrolling in. I'm scrolling and scrolling out, but it's tiny. I'm barely moving. What if I do -10? Is that gonna
Thanks,
be,
Gemini.
Is that gonna be better? Oh, what did he send you?
He sent me the
That's rough, buddy.
yeah, that's Zuko. My girlfriend turned into the moon meme.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Are you making a chess game or something?
Well, yeah, I'm making Advance Wars, but set in the Sengoku period.
Huh. Okay.
What do you mean, huh? That makes perfect sense.
I mean that's gonna take some time, right? You got quite
for
a
sure.
tall order there.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Step one is just like make a game that like I can click things and I can move them around. Like that's
Yeah.
But I found this. So this guy's game is, basically a strategy RPG, but it has some different weird things that it does, and it's also kind of like in that 3D aspect. But the way that he manipulates the grid, that's been the hardest part as far as like things I've been trying to figure out. So by the time we get to actually the map creation and everything, it'll be way simpler. Because again, he's got it in full 3D, but I'm doing just the top-down 2D because I want it to look more of that sort of Link to the Past, Advanced War style.
Yeah. That's
Fire
cool.
Fire Emblem design. I do got the scrolls down. Hi, JP. I do it good.
Edit, project settings. In here we can go on the left and expand it.
Yeah, so he has.
This is where
he's using the original version. So everything we just did
I don't care about any other platform, so I'm just going to delete them.
fixes what he's
We can
doing
go back
here.
to the POM. We should be able to find the event that we just created. So input, axis, zoom. Let's click on the first one. And this is how this event works. It's called every frame by Unreal, and it lets us know how much the user scrolled in that frame. So we can use that value to affect the zoom of our camera. But first, let's just see how it goes. So I'm going to drag from the white pin right here, and I'm going to search for print.
Zoom camera.
Print string. Here we go. Then we can drag off axis value and drop it on the string here. Unreal is going to create a conversion node for us. This is because the value on the left in green is a float,
comments
which is a
to
number,
something darker,
and on the right is a string, which is text. So Unreal is converting the number into text for us. I'm scrolling. When I'm scrolling it,
IJP's
to
asked me what
modify
did I
that
think
value
of
over here.
Dune.
Did
So
you
you really
watch
want to
Dune?
open up? Yeah, you want to open up that can of sandworms?
But did you go into that movie like Link in the Stone Temple? Put on a
um,
giant's mask and go all American
yeah,
in there.
yeah. I watched part 1 on Netflix a
Mm-hmm.
week prior, and then part 2 in the theater. I mean, they're interesting to watch. I think they're overhyped. But yeah, they were interesting to watch.
Oh, okay. Did you love it or love it even more?
I think part 1's better than part 2 though. Part 2 did the tone of it as far as like the cinematography, the action and stuff felt very different than part 1.
Mm-hmm.
And like part 2 felt too Hollywood as far as like the action and like the story writing, whereas like part 1 felt like I was reading like a novel with my
Oh,
eyes,
interesting.
or like experiencing, I guess you can say.
Mm.
So, but I will say part 2 had some amazing scenes in it that I wish that we would see more in like modern movies. So,
Gotcha. How do I make it so I have a max?
by the way, Godzilla minus one 4K release in Japan is up for pre-order right now.
Oh, nice.
And it has the black and white edition included.
Oh,
So
good.
the only
So you don't have to
downside
just
is
unplug one like cable from your your input.
yeah. The only downside is for Japanese made movies that get like DVD releases, they don't come with English subtitles. So I would have
Oh, of
to
course, of
watch it
course.
forever with no English subtitle, which is like something I don't want to do.
You'll
So
figure out what it means at some point.
yeah, like, it'll take like 20 tries, but
You'll learn it. It'll teach you.
The target arm length, which is in the spring arm component. I want to set the target arm length, and it is exactly what the value do we want to use for the target arm length. Well, we can't really use the axis value directly. What
Right.
if we use time? I'm going to get the target arm length.
Yeah, you
plus,
get it.
and take the float plus float function right here. For the second float, I can. Otherwise, the code won't be called.
Right.
I zoom in, and we can go try that. So compile, save, go back in the main level, press play.
And
So
you
now
get
if I
those
zoom
little
out,
slow zoom. Okay.
zoom in scale of 1.
Oh,
But
he
we
changed
want to
his
invert it.
scale there. Oh, interesting. I wonder if I can change my rather than do triggers modifier scalar to real. Oh, negate. Negate might work. Hold on. And then also, what if I add another modifier of multiply? No, I can't multiply on this one. It works the way it works now. I don't know that I want to mess with it too much.
what is
Inherit-
Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis?
Ever Crisis? I don't know, man. Dude,
It's free
Final
to play on
Fantasy
Steam right now.
There's so many of these like Final Fantasy VII things that I've never even heard of. Like I thought it was just Final Fantasy VII, but then it's like Crisis Core, and then whatever you just said, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this is anymore. Take that as input, consume. Okay. Yeah, we'll just.
So we're going to use -1. So it's going
Is
to
it a
multiply
mobile game?
that value
Oh,
by
maybe.
-1.
It could be,
And
but
we
it
can
is
go
on
try it
Steam.
right now.
How do I add? Can I add scale? Let's see. I think Steam sometimes has mobile games.
I wish Mahjong Soul was mobile because I don't like care to play it on PC.
It is. That's how I play it.
Oh, it might be a region locked app then, if that's the
Oh.
case.
That would be strange. I have played it in Japan, I feel.
No, but your region is set to America for like the App Store, so
Oh,
you'll
that's
be
right.
downloading specifically those apps.
That makes sense. Enhanced input. Input, enhanced, bool. Move, trigger states, weapon.
It'll get a Blu-ray release, IJP. I mean, they're not gonna just keep it stranded in Japan, especially with how much money they made in the U.S. off that movie. I don't know how long it'll take though for it to. I don't think it'd take too long, but for it to come to the U.S.
Input modifier? Hold on. Oh, you can make your own input modifiers. That seems like a waste. It seems like I feel like I think the one thing I might do is add the negate feature. So I'm going to modify zoom and I will negate it. Hopefully that just makes it a negative. Hopefully that's literally what it's saying. Yep, okay. That's exactly what I want to do. So now I can make this just 10 to, and then if I play, then I'm scrolling in, I'm scrolling out. Perfect. Perfect.
Now, so play and scroll in, scroll out, it goes out. Perfect.
Boop. Give me a second. There we are. Welcome,
Hello.
Serenos. You missed it. I'm programming like a hacker man.
You're being
But now
a pro
let's fix
hacker.
the speed, because it's way too slow and it's annoying. So I'm going back in the pawn. The slow speed is caused by this axis value right here. It's super low. It's -1,
It is tiny.
-2. It's so slow. So let's multiply it.
Is that the original Battlefront 2 on PC?
A little bit to the right. And
And you're
What?
Canadian?
Oh.
Yeah, it's like he's playing.
Sorry, I was
Battlefront.
muted. This is the collection.
Oh, you didn't refund it?
No, I'm gonna keep it. I'll keep it.
Pathetic.
I'm gonna give him a chance.
You can give
I'll
them a
give 'em a
chance by buying
chance.
it later if they fix it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see how it plays on PC because other people have it on PC, and then I'll buy. I do want to get the Switch version, so I have a physical copy of it, but that's gonna take forever. So, oh, wrong unit. Oh well. I guess I've never really refunded from Steam before, so I didn't really care to research how to do it.
You could probably still do it. You can literally just see Steam refund on Google.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
The reason you'd be able to still do it is because it was insanely broken at launch. People and Steam generally gives blanket refunds for broken games.
Yeah, it's pretty fixed now though, so I didn't really have any complaints about it at launch because I'm playing on Asian servers already, so I'm not gonna have like the greatest connection. But I wasn't seeing any like game breaking issues with it that like a lot of people were reporting. So I don't have a personal reason to refund it like a lot of people did. I don't blame them for refunding it. How many hours have I played? For this one, I guess I can't show it right now. Hold on. Not a whole lot. I haven't had time to play this game. I've played.
You can do Shift Tab and it'll show you.
I've played 2 hours.
Which one?
I played
20 or 2?
Sorry, it was 2. It was 2. It was 120 minutes, and I was trying to read it as 20 hours. I don't know why. I was just stream sniping a buddy of mine who was just playing it. It was pretty funny, actually.
Oh, nice.
Watch any basketball games today?
What? No. Why would I do that?
Miss March Madness. Yeah, my team won, getting an upset, quote unquote, even though they're pretty even. I'd say they're pretty evenly ranked. Actually, it was just Oregon had a bad start to the season with terrible injuries.
Oh, funny. Boom. I want projects. This one. Sprites. Bring in a little swordsman. Isn't he cute? Apply the paper 2D textures.
Oh, crud. No one saw that, right?
No one was like, you're in the corner,
Okay.
don't worry.
No, I wasn't watching anyways.
Okay, good, because that
I'm
was
not
embarrassing.
recording this either, so nobody will see that.
Yeah, it's not on the internet forever, for sure.
Ultimate embarrassment.
Apply paper 2D. Okay. Can I just drag these in? Oh, jeez. What? Why? Why does
You made
that
a lot of those, didn't you?
it turned it into a material and it like tiled it across everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to just make a sprite. Just create a sprite of that, and
Oh, you're getting wrecked.
create a sprite.
Yes, some turret hit me. There I go. Yeah, auto turret. Dirty buggers.
You got replaced by an AI.
Yeah.
I rewinded to see Canadians 9/11 moment.
Oh, whoops. All right, I'm gonna go inside and get rid of these auto turrets.
You better. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I forgot you're too old to grow up with Battlefront.
No, I grew up with it.
No, I'm talking
I
about
didn't.
Blaine.
Oh. Yeah, Blaine, the old man Blaine.
It happens.
He was in high school by the time the game came out.
That's the peak time to play it, or like for that age, I would say.
Actually, when did it come out? It was 2006 or something? 2003?
Yeah, 2000. I think the first one's 2003 or 4. Don't quote me on that.
Okay. They're sideways. What if I just rotated myself 90? Does that help? Bad size? Why does it say bad size?
Oh, I killed myself.
It
Killed themselves.
It was 04 and 05, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to get closer. I want to make my clamp less clampy. So we'll bring it down to 200. And I also want it to be faster, so we'll make this 40.
So yeah, Blaine was right in high school, 14, 15-ish.
Okay, so there they are.
Hey, you got your guys.
And I zoom out, zoom in. I think that's far enough out that you can kind of see like color and stuff, but it's not so far out that you're like, I don't know what's going on. You can still kind of tell what everything is.
Oh yeah, one thing I'll remind you of later, but
fix
good
that
to know
later.
is you usually want to have 2 or 3 extra tiles outside the bounds of your map that are unpassable, but it lets you move the camera better and it makes it feel more natural. Because if you can only look at just the map, it feels a little bit weird because your cursor will go all the way to the edge and you're like, huh.
Oh, for sure. And I think what helps that is just the fact that Japan's surrounded by water, so I just have to make a lot of blue. You know, you can always have your cursor semi-centered, but that's only for controller play. That'll be a thing.
Yeah, so also don't worry about like having like just normal land that's like off the map, just like flat land. That's okay. Nobody's gonna worry about that.
My characters? I made these characters. What are you about to show me? Hold on, I gotta refresh this one.
It's all right. I know I'm the worst. I know I'm the littlest. I know I'm the little one in the group.
What is going on?
Zach Hadel. He's the littlest. Now, one thing I'll probably bring it up tomorrow instead, so you can actually look through all the stuff and think about it. Was Tal, the almighty lolly, was on Twitter arguing with people that I believe his point was that it's not about politics or it's not political in terms of Gamergate.
What,
I'd have to read into
political.
Yeah, because I mean, originally I think he started off because somebody was talking about somebody posted this like terrible looking little graph or just like collage. Whereas, like at the end, it was talking about how Larry Fink is a Jew and the Jews run the world, and it's all their fault. So I think that's where he started, rightly pushing back. It's like, no, it's not about the fact that they're Jewish. It's not the fact that Larry Fink is a Jewish man.
Yeah, why would it ever be about somebody being like?
No,
Jewish?
The politics he pushes are bad, but I wouldn't say that's inherent to him being Jewish. It's like you should push back against people that are trying to like race bait, basically, and like make this into a race thing. It's like, okay, that's not what we're talking about. Whether it's true or not, that's not what we're talking about. And it doesn't matter if it's true. That's more so. Like, okay, let's say you're correct, and there's the cabal of Jews that run the world are all pushing this. You could still just call out the people individually too. You'd still be correct.
Right.
So yeah, that's fine. But then he like kept going on arguing with people and got more into the fact that it's like, no, it's not about the politics. I'm like, well, I think it is. Like all these people in their clique, in their cabal, are specifically choosing to push their ideas of like identity politics, basically, right? Like that's like a big reason is they're pushing their agenda. See, I think there's a decent bit to talk about there. I'm not exactly sure because I didn't read like all of his response or anything. Exactly what he thinks about it. So I probably want to go over that tomorrow.
That something just like gets used as either a sword or a shield. That's like just some inherent something about somebody. It's like, well, why? Why is that important? Can we just talk about arguments?
Oh, thanks, teammate.
Huh.
Okay.
I was just looking at Twitter. I saw Razorfist saying that, talking about Robert E. Howard coming before Tolkien with Conan the Barbarian, I believe is what he's referring to. I'm not sure which of the series is the oldest in terms of like fantasy stuff, though. That is something I just started thinking about. Did he come before Tolkien? Because I know they're writing pretty much at the same time.
Wait, what?
They were writing at pretty similar times in the past. Both Robert E. Howard and Tolkien.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Robert E. Howard died at 30. Wow.
F interp. Interp 2. Okay, there we go.
So it takes the current value, which is the target arm length that we have right here. The target, we want the desired zoom.
Oh, yes. Okay. Ortho width, current.
Nice. Yeah.
And then
IJP wants a Modern Warfare 2 party night.
And drop it on the target. Then we need the delta time, which we can get from the tick right here with the delta seconds. So we're just gonna connect them together. And finally, the interp speed. Let's say 2 for now. You can adjust that if you want. Let's try this. Compile, save.
Okay. Okay. So this just slowed down and smoothed out the zoom.
Yeah, you're correct, Gemini. I was looking through it. Howard came first by a little bit. Solomon Kane, his first one was in 1928. Conan the Barbarian was 1932. The Hobbit was published in 1937. So yeah, fairly similar times. Obviously, Howard died, and then Tolkien went on to write Lord of the Rings, although those are not connected. Also, have you seen any of the clips from the new X-Men thing they're putting out?
Which ones in particular?
The 97 stuff?
Yeah, the 97. The animated show they have, X-Men 97.
I haven't really.
It looks bad. Like, the art is just not good at all.
How do I make this faster? Oh, I did notice that it was like, how could you make art worse than that old style when you're trying to copy the old style? Like, how is it not the same?
Because they're relying on using 3D like art tools to make the old style and using like modern shaders instead of just like the natural way it turned out from the drawing, right? And the coloring they used. Right. I don't know how they can't copy it though. It's really strange.
Okay, my camera moved. That's a bit weird.
Like a talent.
But let's say if I move out, zoom out. Okay, good. It seems smooth. Zoom back in. It's pretty smooth. Okay, if I do small movements. Oh, that's smooth. That's nice. Okay, great. So that's a pretty good zoom. Perfect. Let's stop. Let's play again. My camera moved again. That's a bit odd. And we have to fix that. Stop. Play. Okay, what happens? Well, the camera's moving to 0, 0, 0, I guess. Close to 0 at least. Okay, what could cause that?
Why?
Stop. Go back in the palm. Every frame, the zoom desired here is taken, adding the value of the zoom, clamped between 100 and 5000, set the zoom. Perfect. Every frame in the tick, same thing. Take the target arm length, interpolate to the target, which is the zoom desired, set the arm length. Okay, that makes sense. But what is the value of desired zoom? Right now it is 0. Right here on the right, you can see the default value is 0.
I see.
Okay, so that's why. When the game starts, my value here is 0. I'm adding the value of the zoom, which is 0 because I'm not zooming at the beginning of the game. And then I'm clamping it between 100 and 5000. Okay, so it's 100. Otherwise, it will be 0. So perfect.
I like how slow this sort of swings.
So it explains why my camera at the beginning of the game goes to 100,
like 0.1?
which makes sense. So let's fix this. I can select the desired zoom right here, or on the left, same thing, can select it, and set a default value. The default value should be the same value as the default length.
Oh, maybe the interpolation speed has to go
up. If I select my spring arm component on the left,
what if I set it to 10?
I have my target arm length, which is 700. I should use that same value to set the zoom desired.
Oh, that's so much better. I had it backwards. I thought the interpolation speed was like the amount of time it would take the interpolation to
Is this
occur.
a camera?
Yeah, so I'm trying to make, so now the camera scrolls smooth.
Very good.
Nice, nice.
That helps. Cool.
So that's where we're gonna do. So
oh yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 is launched to mostly negative reviews at 34%.
Ooh.
Oh no. Dragon's Dogma is not good, but you can make giant Yabos in it.
It costs $2 to edit your character's appearance in a single-player game.
What?
After your like initial creation, it costs $2 to buy a little ticket to change it. I think it is.
So
Can't
you only
delete
create one
save
character?
data or start a new game if you mess up your character during creation either. There's no FOB slider, bad performance. Just like a lot of people mentioning microtransactions.
Is it a live service game?
No, not. I don't think there is. No.
Wait, really? Then what? But it just is a microtransaction game.
I'm gonna see what else all you can buy. Let's see content for this game DLC. There is 30. Or sorry, not 30. there's 21 packages of DLC. Let's see what you can buy with this, because a couple of these things are like different, like camping gear. Gain one special camping kit, make them available for purchase at in-game shop. Wait. Explorers camping kit, like, so you got to buy a DLC to unlock something to buy in-game. You do get one, but
great.
Yeah, and then there's also like crystal packages you can buy.
Okay.
Rift, you can buy Rift crystals. I don't know what the Rift crystals do. Yeah, that's too bad. Well, I guess I could just wait until they
input
until they patch it out before people are gonna stop complaining.
Camera move. And we want this to be moved.
Makeshift jail key, escape from jail, or gowl as they put it.
Gowl.
Gowl.
Save, exit, go back to my input mappings, add a mapping, and we're going to add camera move. And camera move is going to get, oh, I should just do it in order. W, A, oops, S, and D. And
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about like microtransactions before it came out.
Wait, you didn't?
No, I didn't hear anything about it.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if it, because everyone was just excited that they could make big boobies.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna wait until you get even more character creation options for modding, anyways. But yeah, seems like people are unhappy with how it's gone.
Digital Bool. Yeah, I think Bool's fine. And do I want inherit settings from the action? Okay, I think that's how I want it to work. And then we're going to go into pawn, and we're going to do IA underscore cam move. Oh, do I have to do move up, down, left, and right?
Ooh, on the top reviews, was putting together a compatibility guide for playing the game under Linux/Steam Deck, which required me to use various Proton versions. Apparently, each of these counted as an individual PC and triggered de novo tamper protection. Now I can't play at all on any of my systems for the crimes of trying to help more users enjoy the game. That sounds great.
Rip.
I need to change the name on this one. Rename cam move. We'll do up. Go back to my BPIM. Make sure I got that. It's still W. Okay, good.
Did you guys see what
Bool.
Leon reported, that there was like some crazy screaming at the GDC?
Yeah,
like
I saw the video.
Outside screaming.
Of course.
Or I saw the video on Twitter anyways.
And they're always.
Yeah, they're having a scream out because they're all in pain from what's been happening in game development over the past year, I guess.
Move down. Duplicate. Oh, Control D. I can do that. Okay. Move left. Control D. Move right. Okay. All those are the same. Go back to my input mapping. I'm going to add one to. And this one's going to be the. Wait, but they have move as just a thing. Hold on. How does input action move work? Where is it? Let's see if I go here. IA_move.
Sheesh, I'm getting wrecked.
Axis.
You're
2D
losing
vector.
against AI.
I know. It's a very hard AI though.
Move camera. Okay, let's go back here.
I beat the campaign on.
Go to my input.
Actually, was very hard in the original game. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I only played on like. I don't actually remember the difficulty settings. I know I didn't play on normal. I tried to play on where the harder one was, and I beat.
It's only normal and elite.
Rename.
Those are the only two difficulties.
Okay, and I want a 2D vector.
They took another command post.
I can't move.
It's broken like how the droids are really broken because they have the wrist rockets right off the bat.
Because you're playing Galactic Conquest?
No, like this is their normal unit. The super battle droid is like their assault unit.
And you don't have as good of rockets as they do.
Yeah, you just have grenades. That's it.
Grenades suck.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. And now we go back to. Say grenades suck?
In this game, yeah.
Oh, that's annoying. Grenades should be awesome. Like, grenades should be built in such a way that even if you, like, blow yourself up, you're laughing at what just happened.
Yeah, but would grenades be good if your opponents are made of metal?
For sure. Okay, so then triggered. Let's print string.
I think since I didn't hear anything else from Leon, I don't think he had like a. Did he have a health scare, or was it just a surgery he went in for? Because I thought he just went in for a surgery or something.
I have no idea. I just saw on Twitter last night. It was like he took a photo of himself in the hospital. I was like, what the heck happened?
Oh no.
Yeah, he said he was back home already, so hopefully it wasn't too bad.
Swizzle input. Oh, that's what I have to do. That's right. Okay. Does anyone have any idea? In chat, he said health scare in the post.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Any specific health scare he said in the post? Or just health scare? And you're like, oh, okay. Swizzle,
just health scare.
Swizzle input. This one is.
I don't know. He looked tired in the picture, though.
Gate. And then S is negate and swizzle input. You know, one-dimensional inputs to map in a two-dimensional input action. Okay. Order XYZ. Wait, hold on. Swizzle. XYZ, perfect. That doesn't matter.
Do you remember the video of the Burger King man on the plane?
Not off the top of my head, no.
How about you, Anger Canadian?
Burger King.
No.
Yeah, it was the
what
old guy on a
happened?
plane wearing a Burger King
Yes.
paper crown.
Yes. I remember that. Oh my goodness.
So I'll post this in the I'll post this in the Discord actually, so other people can see this. This is pretty good. But this joke is specifically about that.
Okay. So then I want to split that pin. I got X and Y. So when triggered, I want to shoot, how do I move? How do I move the camera? BP pawn self. Okay, get. No, this is the pawn self. Okay.
And go
Tell me
back
how to do
in the
this.
level and down here, because that I'm gonna name input axis underscore forward. The up is forward, so it's 1. So here we go. We can now go back in the pawn.
There you go, right? Okay, yeah.
And we can here. Okay. Same thing as for the zoom. We're gonna multiply desired pin. Select the right side right here. We can coordinate the y coordinate and the z coordinate. And same thing as for the zoom. We have to get the variable, then add. So
Oh, interesting.
see that we have a float on the left side because.
Okay, hold on. I think I can do this. Okay. Where is my other little thingies? Anyway. Where is location? Okay.
Because it's green and the
How do I make a new variable? Dang it. Back in the event graph. How come this thing doesn't always have all of the windows that I want? My blueprint?
I wonder if you have to go into settings and enable extra like pop-outs for that, like for each different tab.
Kind of. They sometimes just pop up and like they're just there, which is nice. But other times, they're not, and then they're like in like another window somewhere, and I'm like, why are you? Why did you run away?
I guess they just like change it between versions for some reason, you know.
And like sometimes it stays, and other times I have to go into like the editor preferences and then like make sure it's like checked or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What is that called? I don't even know what the thing is called. That's the most annoying part. Oh, my blueprint maybe?
It's like, how do I even find this one? I don't see it.
If I don't know what the name of it is, how can I know to add it? We'll do another float, and this one is going to be location underscore desired, and it'll be a vector. And here we will set it when it gets called.
vector on the right side. We could connect them together, but it's not what we want. We want to be able to specify which axis we want to affect with that float.
Add, okay. So I think I'm going to do the... How do I, recombine the struct pin. Come out and go plus. I want to just add these guys and output it into that. Wait, is this not a vector? Vector 2D? Oh, vector 2D. Change variable type. There we go. Straight up location desired. Okay, beautiful. That, and then we'll get we will get location desired off of that and add it to that, and then we will set location desired as that. And then on the event tick again. Oh, I'm gonna have to branch it off of that other tick, aren't I? Okay, hold on. Let's do a quick comment. And we'll call this one get location desired. And that one will bring these down. And off of this, we will take set location. Is that what I want?
And to do that, we can simply right-click on the vector here
You're gonna
and
split
choose
it.
Split Struct Pin, because this is to the event. And this time, I'm going to take the result of the multiplication and use an interp node. If I right-click right here, I can search for interp2, which is going to show me all the interp nodes that exist. We have the F2. We already know the target, which is the location desired, and the v-interp for the vector. In our case, it is a vector, so we're going to take the v-interp2.
Okay.
We already know the target, which is the location desired that we just did, right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the delta time from the tick, so I'm going to attach it right there.
Right.
As for the speed, I'm going to use 5, just like this. Then we have to apply the result right here to the camera. So, how do we do that?
Yeah, where do we get the camera
have the camera
location?
right here. We don't really want to move the camera directly because it's controlled by a spring arm. That spring arm, maybe we can move that, or the same thing, we can move the actor itself. Right now I'm selecting the default scene route, but I mean the actor in the level.
Right.
And I think that's the simplest thing to do.
How do I get that?
So first we get the actor location, pass it into the current, and then we set the actor location again. Same thing that we did for the armlet.
Right.
To get the actor location,
What do you call
it's
it?
easy. Get actor location.
Fucking stupid. Stupid. Okay. Okay. Target is self. Going to set actor location as well. Going up in there. All right, and then I'm going to take the desired the current. So I want interp. I want v-interp. Is that what I want? I want vector interp? Is that really what I need? What if I do inter vector 2D? Vector 2D interp 2. Okay, there we go. Can I give this to this? You can convert it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being able just to do the thing that I need you to do. Okay. So our get actor location is current. Yep, that got swapped. Get location I can just pull this one in. Location desired get. That's going right there. The delta time is once again this guy and this guy. I'm gonna make it 10. Okay. All right. Let's see if I was able to do
Andrew.
that correctly. All right. Oh my gosh! It moves up and down or backwards, but it moves.
Progress.
I can fix that. I can change the swizzle. I can add a negate, and I can remove the negate from S. Although, hold on. Wait. Does it only do that because I'm currently looking like the wrong direction? Oh, man. Which way do I want up and down to be? Hold on. If I have a grid and it is X and Y.
The question is, do you want it to be a disgusting reverse camera grip user or not?
No, I'm just wondering if I literally just rotate it by 180 degrees and just spin everything else too. Because I think this also fixes that issue, and I can go back and I can delete this, get rid of that, delete that, and then on S I can add the negate again. Okay, save, play, up, down. Oh no, because now left and right are backwards. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do I just fix it? I just fix it here. Let's just fix it here because I like the up down currently. So we'll add a negate to left and we will delete the negate from right. Delete. So
well, it was a
now
good run.
Our numbers all line up. So left, up, right, down. Zoom. Uh-oh. Zoom isn't working. Why did Zoom break? Oh, no. Oh, because it's no longer setting. Why can't I do both? Can't we do both?
You have to create a second node for it. Or I should say separate.
Weird. Oh, maybe I just go from event tick, set camera, and then set location. Is that what I have to do?
Okay, got my mic back because now it was a little bit wobbly, so I was messing with it, tightening the screw and whatnot.
Because this guy literally yanked it off of.
Together, and this should move the camera. So let's try it. Compile.
Hold on. He literally ripped it off of the tick and was able to get.
For the speed, I'm going to use 5, just like this.
Oh no, he is having
to
the
apply
okay.
the result right here to the camera. So how do we do that?
Okay, so that
Well,
does just come off of after you check your zoom. You can then walk. All right, let us move these. Actually, hold on. I think I hit that on accident. Put this in there. Okay. Move these all over. Bring these over. Bring this over. That goes there. The tick is getting yanked over here. That's fine. It can get yanked.
The tick?
The tick. And we will add a comment on that section. And this section's comment is going to be move camera. Cool.
And you get to do a whole group of stuff together. Nice.
Yeah, so once you comment on something, you can physically move it together so you can keep it all.
Yeah, that's
organized.
really nice.
It's super convenient, and it's all visual, which is just the best for me because I can't look at actual code. Okay, so we got zoom.
Yeah, that makes me want to die.
Left, right. Oh my goodness! Look at my
The
camera.
the pixels there, is that your own design?
Yeah, I made those.
Oh, that's cool.
Have I not? Were you not here when I showed the original design that I paid someone on Fiverr like $10 to make?
No.
Let me pull it up real quick. I think I can. Should be able to still launch it. I think. Projects. Is it mockup? No, the mockup was what I showed him. This was the original mockup that I paid a guy to.
Oh, that's cool.
Make on Fiverr, and so it's just it's a click. You say move, and then you pick like where you want to go to. You've got attack, and the real specific thing on this was once someone dies, because I want this to sort of be a sort of a game that leads into the next game that I've been thinking about. But basically, once someone dies, they stick around and they have a little hat there, and you have to, as one team, like bury the dead before you before you move on. Otherwise, that'll affect the game. Like the obvious thing is just make the game like have more like evil spirits or have something like bad happen if you just leave like a bloody battlefield every time. But I haven't thought through it in years.
So you can get cursed if you don't like clean
you
up.
don't respect the dead. I think that's a
so
that's a
one of
idea.
your primary upgrades in terms of like mitigating that is going to be a bulldozer.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have a Sengoku bulldozer.
In feudal Japan.
Yep.
Yeah.
The feudal
I mean,
bulldozer.
hey, like it's a fantasy game. Like, why can't you have a Mazda Miata in it? Or a
it's
cat
my
pickup
fantasy
truck?
and I want it now.
Like, is it really so much more unrealistic that spirits exist, that a 2005 Toyota Camry exists?
It is weirder that spirits don't drive Hachirokus everywhere. The Kanto Killdozer. Okay. Okay.
You have to have that in the game now. You can't not do that.
We are gonna program in a God mode Easter egg, the way we used to have to work for him, like in GoldenEye.
Yep.
Put that on the dock. Put that on the dock. We need to.
It's literally going to be invincible. It can't be damaged.
It cannot be damaged, and
It can
your
kill
only
spirits.
downside is if you drive it over like a river or something, and it can get stuck, and then you have to like hard reset the levels. Easter egg / cheat unlocks. Kanto Killdozer. And you also have to be like in the Hojo clan or like one of the other Kanto. Like you can't just be Oda Nobunaga rolling the Killdozer around, because that wouldn't make sense. You did contribute. Yep. Make sure all this works. You connect them. Ooh, I know. I'm gonna prep this for the future. I'm gonna make a new variable. It's gonna be my movement speed. Because that was, he's multiplying that off of this. Okay. So location desired. Multiply. Come back in. I need a vector, another vector 2D. This is going to be move, speed. Should I make a separate X and Y move speed variable, or can we keep them the same and just have a slider that lets you increase your movement speed?
And yeah, you should have a slider to increase the movement speed.
But have you ever wanted to move up, down faster than left, right?
Unless you're always going to have maps be unbalanced, I should say no, especially since it's going to be a grid-based game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It should, you should probably be having your map move at like one tile at a time, unless you want to have it be a 3D open like thing. Because either you can have your camera movement follow what each time you like move your tile, like a old Fire Emblem game or Advance Wars, or you can do it more like a modern one where the tile will be moving, or the tile you have selected will be moving, but it is not, the camera isn't stuck to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. is the tile like, because you move like one tile at a time, right, as you're like going around typically with one of these games?
Yeah.
And so an entire tile gets revealed. Is a partial tile being revealed something that could be interesting rather than locking the camera to move?
What would a partial tile
16
being
pixels?
revealed do?
It would make it easier to deal with different monitors, different sized outputs and resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if someone's got a monitor that doesn't exactly line up with the grid pixels, it would be able to sort of have an overflow of like partial tile. That's the only thought I can think with that. It's a good question. We can mess with it later though, once we actually come up with the idea. For now, the move speed is going to be. Let's do 1 and 1. Actually, let's see what bumping it up to 10 and 10 is. How fast does this move?
It's gone.
I'm
gone.
Just nowhere, and the whole thing crashed. Okay, we're not gonna do
Game's
that.
in beta. Game is still in beta.
It's just like. All right, we're back. Let's open up my BP pawn and make sure that it's still okay. We're gonna remove move speed for right now, but I am gonna leave. Actually, no, we'll put the move speed in, but we'll just set it to 1. Because I think that was checking every tick. So every tick it was moving 10 Unreal units. And that's the other thing I got to figure out. I got to figure out what Unreal units equate to in pixels as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Cool. I'm not even touching the Z. Ooh, that's a good point. Right. How do I pull in the player start location?
Are you still watching the video?
Yeah, I turn it off just in case anybody wants to talk.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah.
It's annoying. It's not good. Okay, let's fix this. I'm gonna go back in the pawn. How do we do it?
It's just like I heard your Swanee video. I was like,
We know
you
that
never
the
watched this
player
video, so.
spawns at the player start location. And
Blade,
then it starts
you going
to
crazy?
interpolate towards the desired location. So
Just
technically, on
talking
the
to
first
myself.
frame, the pawn is on
Yeah, I mean, you've done it before. You know.
the right location.
Probably.
But it starts to move afterwards, which makes it flicker. So the solution will be to take a snapshot of the current location of the actor at the first frame, and then feed it into our desired location. Then all of our movements are going to be added.
Can't I just get player start? Like, this thing's called player start. Can I not, let's see, where is the begin play? Okay, I've got this whole begin play thing. And then can I, get player start? Is that not a... Get player start time. Get
Would
start
player start
position.
beyond like whenever it's your turn, it resets to a specific position?
No, I think the idea is just that I get the... So there's this player start thing here, right? And that's like where I'm supposed to start? and it has a location. But I should be able just to grab this location and feed it into the location desired. Because like let's say if I move this over here, right, and then I save and I hit play, I slide over here like immediately, even though I was over there. So if like let's say we moved everything in the game to start like this is where our map was supposed to start, we zap to not there. So I can let's move this guy over here. So this guy is over here, but that's not what I'm looking at. So I want to be able to pull the location of the player start. But do I have to do it by just
on top
snapping
of
it
that
real
desired
quick?
location.
Can I
So
not
let's
just
see if it works.
let's see if I can get player start location in Unreal Engine 5.
Has the Easter candy been out there selling for you US folks?
I don't
shop
for it.
Like, yeah.
You don't look for it. Usually, there's
No.
like pretty big displays at like the front of stores.
Do you
and
think
stuff.
I go to the store?
Okay, I guess not.
Do you think I eat food? Like,
you use Uber, right? You're one of those delivery guys. I'm gonna have everything delivered.
no.
Iced coffee delivered.
Dude, I could use some iced coffee right now.
No, I just don't eat anything.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yep.
Default player start location. Yeah, how do I get oops.
Oh, Pop has Easter candy in his area.
Everybody probably does.
Are you looking for American Easter candy or something?
Yeah, I need somebody to send me like 10 kilos of Cadbury mini eggs.
Cadbury mini eggs. Got it. I can do that.
I know you can get those year-round in Canada. I don't know why, like, Canada's the only place you can buy them year-round, but yeah, in the US, you can get them twice a year.
Frame, it's the big and play.
Why the Cadbury mini eggs?
I like, because they taste great. It's the only chocolate that I'll really eat. They remind me a lot of Smarties from Canada, which I know you haven't
why
really
do you always
had.
like Smarties?
Yeah, Kinder Surprise, yeah. Miss those too, but normally I have one of my friends from the base mail me some mini eggs, but I guess like they don't have them out here, so I don't know what's going on.
And if you want to get them, you got to come back, I guess. You said
Yeah,
never.
Gonna fly all the way back just for that.
And some people do for things that are way more important than that, but they do.
Or they fly to another country just to get alcohol.
I mean, I don't know about fly. You can just drive up to where. Which one do they get? Yeah, Canada's not far away, but Canada, like when I was turning 18, stopped serving American licenses under 21. It was like, what?
That's crazy.
I've not done it yet. What am I supposed to be excited for now? Okay, get the location, set the location.
Actually, Pop, there is a weird like import limit in Japan for like how much chocolate, or maybe it's not just chocolate, but like candy you can bring over.
All these Americans steal our chocolate.
Yeah, I don't remember how much it is, but when my sister came over, she brought a bunch of Canadian chocolate, and she's like, "Yeah, there was a limit to like how much I can bring per the like airline regulation, or I mean Japan's regulation."
Cool.
At least she didn't get deported.
Yes.
Yeah, for chocolate.
I mean, the worst thing they have to do is just throw it out. It's not.
Yeah, they deport your chocolate without you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hook them together and hook it to the
Hook it.
That's
I'm
good.
gonna hook.
Another thing. If I move, this player start right there instead. If I press play, okay, my camera is moved right there. I'll probably do the same thing for the zoom. If you remember, in the zoom here, it wasn't working because the zoom desired value on the right there, was not the same as the spring arm target arm length in the component.
Right.
Which means that every time we go back, let's say in the viewpoint right here, and we scale that back up, it's not gonna work anymore until we take that value, copy it, and paste it into the zoom desired. And then I'm going back in the event graph. I'm going to get the spring arm.
Oh yeah, why don't I just do the same thing? Deal. Good deal. That's a great idea. But mine is slightly different, right? Because you use the spring arm, I use ortho width. So I want to do get ortho width. There we go. Get that from the camera. Camera goes in there. We're going to do set desired zoom. Set desired zoom to that. Boom. Okay. Bingo bongo. So now both of these work great. And I don't need it to preset the desired zoom.
See ya, pop culture mechanic.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, good night, buddy. Thanks for catching that, guys. I would have missed it. All right, let's move this one over a little bit, and then I'm gonna take these guys. And I'm just gonna say like set variables to current is what I'm gonna call these. Create comment, set zoom and location to player start. Cool. Save, entry, play. Cool. Cool. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. If I'm zoomed out farther, it feels like I'm moving slower.
And you do not want that?
I don't know yet. Interesting. We may have to readdress the movement speed later on by actually multiplying it by my ortho width in some way. So what is my max? What did I clamp it to just now? Move the camera. That's the smooth zoom. Is this where the clamp is? No. Set ortho.
What's the deal with the nodes? Is this like a modern game design?
The nodes, like the way this whole thing is like designed. Yeah, this is Unreal Engine 5. I've been playing around with this since like Unreal Engine 4, and they had this whole visual scripting. So instead of typing, you just physically are looking at stuff.
Huh.
So what if I do movement speed times location desired? What if I do movement speed times, let's get let's get ortho width of the camera. This camera right here. Okay. So the ortho width of the camera, and we're going to divide that by, if I want it moving normally at 200, but faster later on. So we'll do a divide operator.
I need to swap out my front rotors too.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just looking. I'm just trying to help you out with this sheet that you gave me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of weird because like if I go down to Napa, I can get a set of pads and rotors, for like a Toyota Corolla for like less than $100. It'll probably be $40 for the rotors and $40 for the pads. Like it's stupid cheap. That's probably wrong. It's been a while since I've done this, but when I try to get pads and rotors for the tiny truck, it's like, oh, you want to spend $200 on pads and rotors? And I was like, no, I don't want to spend $200. Why? It's pads. They look like bicycle brakes. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
So
But you get the pads from Japan.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm now that you've sent me these links, I'm like, it's like, oh, they actually aren't like they are cheaper for sure, but they aren't that much different. Like, why are the rotors? They were like almost 100 or 10,000 yen. I was like, wow.
No, the ones I found
that was
were
the jack stand. Never mind.
the jack. Well, the jack thing, I had no idea what you wanted. It was a like a spring or whatever, like a jack.
Oh,
or
gotcha.
Let me look at it again. Yeah, because I was like, is he asking for a car jack or a jack for like the mechanical thing that for the wheel assembly?
Right.
Anyways, yeah.
Double float. Okay. So this, yeah. So it's like like if you got a flat tire, right? You gotta like jack up your car, and they have these little scissor jacks that are like there's a little location on the van where it's like this is where your scissor jack is, and you're like, I didn't get one though.
Okay, so that makes it very easy for me to find because those should be universal sizes. I would imagine.
I would think so. I think the only like he'd be really happy if it was like the Honda Gold one, but I can't imagine it's that big of a deal for some people.
I'll make a note to look for that one.
Okay. So, lightning. Why is it lightning?
And yeah, when you're saying like how there it's like really expensive for the Japanese product. This morning I was trying to look for Game Boy Advance cases, like the game cases, because they have like the Switch ones. It's like a plastic case that holds like 12. And I'm like, well, surely someone still makes like Game Boy ones. And in Japan or Amazon Japan, there was one going for like $40 that holds like 10. Yeah. And I was like, there's no way it's this price. And I looked on Amazon US and it was like $16. I was like, what is going on here? So
now you are getting screwed.
We're just gonna keep swapping things back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay. What if I divide it by more? If I divide it by, because this will make it so that, hold on, if I do this. So this is the same. That's suddenly so fast. Is there a way to make this logarithmic? If I divide by 1,000, then that'll make it so that oh, interesting. It doesn't want to move any farther than that now. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Why would that work that way? How would I... Oh, because... Okay. I see. I'm on the wrong end of this. That's why move speed didn't work. Hold on. Wait, no. Move speed stays here and multiplies by... remove pin. How do I remove this pin? Recombine struct pin, and then... remove this pin. Okay. Location desired should get... Hold on, there's something fell down in the bathroom.
Cast something.
What game are you playing?
I'm playing Sekiro.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I beat the owl and I'm in the Divine Palace now.
I was told that's one of the hardest Souls games.
Yeah, it can be hard. But I'm a master of the blade.
Don't chew the plastic, it's bad for your health.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask Blaine how far he ever got in this game because I know he didn't beat it.
Oops.
Everybody's safe.
Yeah, you didn't play much Sekiro, did you, Blaine?
It was just the curtain rod that fell down. What'd you say?
You didn't play much Sekiro, did you?
No, I was not a big fan of the way the levels were designed in that game.
So, the rear basket, I can't find it on.
Oh yeah, dude, it's here. I'll show you.
I think I know what it is. I just can't find like for that model, that car model. Oh wait. Oh, it's a different one. 92. So there's two here, 97 and 92.
It's this.
Or is that a typo?
I think it's the same one. But it's this thing. It's this Honda Active Van Street rear-mounted interior basket, 5 kilograms. This one has the net. It's selling for $540.
$540.
That's what it sells stateside on eBay. Yeah.
Sheesh.
So it's like, if you find some, we can make some money.
Yeah, there's like a stock of them somewhere.
Hey, they gotta be somewhere.
Yeah, they gotta be somewhere. Yeah, it's hilarious because it's just a basket that goes across the rear of those Honda street vans. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take the ortho width. Oh, I think my issue is multiplying vectors. I think that's why. Because if I hold on, let's break this link and then let's split this struct and let's add the move speed into just X. And we'll make move speed into just a float. Change variable type, yep. And move speed is just 10. Then no, it's still super fast. So fast it breaks. You wish you could watch 2 YouTube vids on your phone or at the John. Why? Yes. Open up the last things. Maybe 10 is just too much. What if I just do 2 times? Maybe that's.
Are you sure that there was a basket made for that specific model?
Oh, I just showed it on stream.
No, for that specific
for that
model.
specific model? No, I think it could just be any Honda like Acti or Street vans.
Because when I search it up and I look up that model, I don't see that model, but I'll see like the chassis code. Like I'll see HH4 or 5, 6, 7, and then I'll see like 3, 2, and 1, or it's HM3, 2, and 1.
But specifically the 5.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is.
I guess dimension wise, you would have.
It can't be that different.
Let me see. Kind of curious if HM4 is any different than HH4.
I don't know what HM4 would even be. HM4 Honda motorcycle.
I'm found a website, Mini Truck Garage. Oh, it's pretty expensive.
Times 2 times. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want you, Visual Studio. Go away. Maybe I do 1.1. 1.1. See if that works as far as speeding it up a little bit. Oh, interesting. I lose control. Because I got up, down, left, right. But then if I multiply this to stick it in there, and I go, oh wait, doesn't something weird happen when you multiply vectors? I'm trying to remember now. Because I just hit left and it went up at an angle. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So if I multiply the vector, it makes it all wacky. Location desired. Set. I take the action. Oh, that's what I wanna. Okay. Hold on. I think this has been my issue. I want the action value to get multiplied. And we're gonna make move speed back into a vector. Oh man, this is gonna make so much more sense.
Oh god.
Are you okay?
I'm not dying yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I was gonna say Blaine's learning.
Yeah. So I was multiplying the current location that I wanted to move to by a thing. So if I was at, let's say I was at space 200, and I wanted to go up 1, so it gives the input of 1. I was taking the 200 and multiplying it by 10 and adding it to the location. So I was going up 2,000 instead of going up by 2 with the multiplication instead. So now this should function with just a slightly improved move speed based on a variable that, yep, okay, up, down, left, right, everything still works. Now we're going to add the camera's ortho width. Get out of here. So the orthogonal camera width, we're going to divide it by 2, or divide it by, and we're going to divide it by 200? What do I want to, yeah, I should divide it by 200.
I found that jack. I just I put the link in there.
Oh, nice.
Just you'll have to confirm later if the like size of it is gonna fit on wherever you need to mount it.
Okay.
I would imagine it doesn't look like it doesn't look irregular like it looks like the one I have. As far as size or whatever shape of it, so maybe it should fit.
Yeah, don't worry. Everybody's looks like that.
What is that supposed to be?
Penis joke.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, are we really going there?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And when you zoom out,
like
you
you
move
want.
faster.
Now it moves like you want it to. That's good.
Cool.
It's working. Okay, so now the only thing that I want to do is, I'm just going to set the clamp and the min. I'm going to make this 250 for right now. And move speed's a variable. That's a variable. Oh my goodness. We did it, everybody. We're learning to code.
I was thinking the other day, is that hashtag learn to code still banned on X?
Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. Because it was like,
if
don't
it
be.
is.
That's
Yeah.
right. Because it was the whole like, don't like it, learn to code.
Yeah. I'm very curious if that's still a bannable thing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that'll get my movement location. And I'm going to make the move speed okay, it's not private. Perfect. Location desired is going to be private. And desired zoom will also be private. But my move speed will be multipliable. Save all, baby.
The target arm length. Connect the white pin. Zoom out and super far. 700 for the look in. But I want to do something a little bit different.
We want
I
to do
want
different.
to have a rotation that rotates a certain amount every time.
Took me long enough.
So let's say I tap the button, I rotate 45 degrees. I tap again, I rotate another 45 degrees. So I press once and then.
Oh no, I don't want to rotate. That's not something I need.
To set the for the rotate. Let's not worry about that. To the event, thing that rotation right key.
Rotation would always be 45Z. Yeah, that makes sense.
Here,
You hit the button and you spin it.
Something
Cool.
Or rotation. Begin. Oh, just right here. We can see that the player start is facing that way with the blue.
Source control project
Source
creation.
control. If you already know what it is and you're using
Oh no, this one.
User interface. It's either you love it or hate it. And in my case, I hate it a lot. A lot. I mean, it takes a lot of time to do, and in that time, the gameplay doesn't progress at all. But I had a lot of comments telling me that you wanted to have more user interface in the videos. And I guess it's also a pretty important part of the game we're making right now. I decided to add a lot of user interface.
Yes.
I mean, a lot. And
you know why it's really important, Blaine?
Let's see how it goes.
How much time are you spending looking at menus?
I hate menus.
Yeah. And you're going to be looking at them a lot when you're playing strategy games.
Maybe. Like, that's what I like about Advanced Wars, though, is I feel like I'm not looking at a menu most of the time. So.
Every single time you have a unit attack on a unit, a menu pops up.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like a menu pops up.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel like that. That's why you got to actually work and make it look nice.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to start building our debug menu. And the first step is to do the tabs.
Our debug
system.
menu?
So
We haven't even made a thing to
tab,
bug yet.
It shows the associated widget. And it should not take too long to do, I think.
Okay. I believe you.
What we're going to do is create our
30-minute video, man.
Which are called widgets in Unreal. So I'm just going to go in Blueprint. And create a new folder. New folder that I'm going to call debug menu. And then open the folder. In the folder, I'm going to right-click, go in User Interface, and select Widget Blueprint.
Widget Blueprint.
Which I'm gonna name W, because it's a widget, _ debug menu. Enter. And we can open it. So we are in the widget editor interface. I'm not going to go through everything and explain everything because it's pretty simple, first of all, and also because there's a lot of stuff. So we are simply gonna learn it piece by piece while working with it. But the first important thing is that the widgets are built in two parts. So we have the designer tab, which is where we are building the layout of our widget. So adding buttons, pictures, making it pretty and stuff. And then we have the graph tab, which is a simple blueprint graph, which is where we are going to do all the logic of our interface.
Where's the graph? Where's my graph tab at? Is this it? No, that's details. Oh, designer and graph. Here we go. Designer, graph. Got it. Common, rich text, image. Boy. We're making progress, Vincent. That's what we're doing today. Let's see.
So just to let you know, because I'm checking shipping rates right now.
Yeah.
So the max amount of weight I can ship is 30 kilograms.
Right.
And the cheapest option is by boat.
Right.
And that's about 30,000 yen.
Okay. So $200 something.
Yeah. But
okay.
that is I actually, let me double check the size of the package. It's just the weight. It was max was 30.
Yeah, I think there is a max size.
3 meters squared or cubed. Sorry, 3 meters cubed.
Right.
Well, let's see, 1.5 meters lengthwise, and then the girth can be 3 meters.
The girth? Did you say?
That's what it says here on the website.
You want to talk about me making penis euphemisms? Like that.
Yeah, I'm
Do you mostly look at like Rakuten or like
when I buy car parts,
Autobox and stuff, or
I could check Autobox, but I've always bought from Rakuten.
Okay, and you haven't had any issues like finding anything that you've ever needed that way?
No, I mean, because I've bought brake pads. I'll probably buy rotors from here too, because I do want to change them out. So I'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the brake pads, I never had issues with that. I've bought from Yahoo Auctions before, so
Okay.
very girthy basket.
Here's this one.
Oh,
Is it the girthy basket?
No, this is completely different.
Coded Nazi position, Reagan Republican position, coded Nazi.
sheesh.
What? Secure borders, safe and clean cities, don't bankrupt America with spending. Racism against any race is wrong. No sterilization below the age of consent. Is this right wing? What?
Oh, yeah.
This verse is wild. Although it shouldn't be said, I also believe in the Constitution of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
This one's great. This one's funny.
Seems about right. Yeah, I was just thinking because you mentioned Autobox, I was gonna go there to check out for the Jack, but I found it on Rakuten. But if it's not the size you want, I can always check. I
That's
gotta go to a
okay.
super Autobox because super ones are much bigger.
Does Autobox not have a like a website?
They do. I'm trying to remember if I've ever ordered from it. I think I was just told by my car friends that it's cheaper to get it from Rakuten. So
Oh, that makes sense.
that's why I've always bought it. I've never like cared to buy from Autobox.
For people curious, Autobox is it's like a car goods, but it's like if you put a like a car toys and just all the stuff that you would buy to like rice out your car, like all of the wheels, all of the steering wheels, the springs, the fins and stuff, and they sponsor GT racing in Japan, so they have some other cool stuff. But I would believe it in a heartbeat if you're like they're like the price you want to go with.
Well, another thing too is whenever I've gone there, I've never seen like the hardware that you would buy, like what you're looking for. It's
Mm-hmm.
always like the jazzy stuff that you're just saying.
The
Like
excess bits, like the basket would be there, but the
yeah,
interesting. Okay. Ricer's Paradise, dude. So much white rice in there. Is that what they would call me in Japan? They call me white rice.
I don't know. No, they call you gaijin.
I've had that a couple times. It's always good though. It's always funny. It's always someone who's like across the bar who's like, get around for those gaijin over there, and then we get free drinks. So it's always okay. It's okay with me.
But for now, let's go back in the designer tab. In here, I'm going to add a few things on my widget, so I can simply go on the left right here. We have all the components, so buttons, images, progress bars, sliders, and other stuff that are collapsed right here. And we can simply get one and drag it onto the widget.
Dave Rubin found something he doesn't agree with anymore.
Of course he did.
Oh no!
Is it?
He doesn't consider Candace Owens a friend anymore over her stance on just real pal stuff.
What is Candace Owens' stance?
I don't actually know.
Why would Dave Rubin and Candace Owens have different
I don't know.
stances? It's wild to me.
Then we can scale it if we want to. We can add progress bar right there, scale it also, a slider, let's say. We can add an image also.
Stop just throwing
right
stuff out there. Let's make the
And
thing.
we can even add components inside.
Look, I can just drag everything. I just put a checkbox. I just put a potato. Like what are we doing, bro?
Too fast.
It's not even doing anything. The Nega Rubin clip. Oh no.
I'm gonna get going.
So let's say I
gotta go to the sports club and work out around a bunch of 70-year-old people because that's the only people that go there.
Gotcha. Well, have fun at Sport Club or Sport Collabo.
Get your miles in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, real quickly, is there a timetable on when you guys want this stuff?
I have no timetable currently. I just noticed that there was a lot of stuff that's like really expensive stateside, and I'm wondering if we can make some money bringing it over ourselves. So
Okay.
no rush, but
All right.
we'll
Well,
work on it.
yeah. Next month I'm gonna buy the rotors for myself, and I'll see how that is, and I'll let you know. But yeah,
Because you don't drive a K, do you?
yeah, I have a K car.
Oh, you do have a K, yeah. Save on taxes.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna have it for too much longer, but it's still a nice car. I like the K cars.
Which one do you have?
The Suzuki Lapin.
Oh, nice. You know what I really wanted was or I guess I want future tense because eventually I can buy it because of our stupid country's laws. I want the Tonto. You know, the slider doors and just it's such a cool little Daihatsu.
Yeah. Yes.
Especially in like the brown. Like I want to take this thing camping. Like it looks too much fun. And when we rented cars twice, right? Or 3 times. And the first time was a Honda Fit, boring. That's American car. But the second time we got the Daihatsu Highway Star, which is like slightly bigger than the Tonto. And it was so much fun.
Nice.
It seems like such a blast. And the fact that there's no pillar, so when you open the doors, it's just open.
Yeah.
Just feels like such an exciting way to like go camping or fishing or something like that. This one says Fun Cross on it. How would I not get a car that says Fun Cross?
That's
oh my
cool.
gosh. I'm sending this to Waifu immediately.
I don't like the way the front looks. It's just...
You don't like the angry
weird.
grill? It looks like a pouting like Moe character.
It looks a little bit weird. I think if the grill was a little bit different, I would like it.
I'm sure there's aftermarket grills.
Like, yeah, just try up a normal one like that. It's just better. I just like that better.
I love these things. Anyway,
if I see one in the wild, I'll have to take a photo and send it to you.
Dude, I'm gonna be buying all of them because I think they're a 2015 for the one that I like, but so I'll have to wait until 2040 to buy it. But
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
or I'll ship it to Canada and have Lucifer hold on to it for me, or Pops. Although if Pops keeps it, it'll freeze to death before.
Yeah, you have to winterize it every winter.
Just constantly, it never unwinterizes.
Yep. Well, I'll see you. Well, I won't see you tomorrow because I got my stream tomorrow. But unless you're still going on, I'll stop in the chat or say hi in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see you then, or go check out Angry Canadian, see what he's up to.
Appreciate it. I'll see everybody later. Thanks, chat.
Peace.
All right, I was taking a look at the March Madness bracket, seeing the score updates. So yeah, starting from the East, we got Duquesne, Duquesne. They won their first tournament game in 50 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I think somebody said it was like the 60s or the 70s was the last time they won a game in the NCAA tournament. I think it was actually against Oregon. So yeah, it's been a long time coming for them. Yeah, then high seed Illinois beat their matchup pretty handedly. I saw it was close at halftime. Washington State did manage to beat Drake. Iowa State easily put away South Dakota State. In the South, NC State actually beat 6th seed Texas Tech, which is actually the third of, which is 3 upsets we had today from the 11th seed. And people called the 11 seeds bracket or seed stealers because they only got there for winning their conference championships. But 3 out of 4 have won so far. I don't think the 4th one is played yet. Because yeah, it was Oregon, NC or North Carolina State, and Duquesne's, who are all like 11 seeds. You got it on auto bids.
The 11 seeds.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where the other one was. Oh, New Mexico. New Mexico has not played their game yet. That's tomorrow. Yeah, there was only 1 or 2 series played, and Kentucky actually went down. They lost to Oakland. I think Oakland was the only like mid-major 12th through 16th ranked team that actually won. That was kind of like, yeah, they're the only 12th through 16th team that won their matchup, I believe.
Gotcha.
You can put that up.
I disagree.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, all the other low seeds had lost.
Sucks to be low seeds.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of surprising because Kentucky's always been like a blue blood in college basketball.
The next step will be to show this widget in game because by default, let's say if I go back.
And Kansas is actually a nail biter at the end there. It's only a 1 point lead for them against Samford.
So we're gonna do that real quick. And for this, we're going to need another blueprint. So in the same folder as the W debug menu, I'm going to right click and create a blueprint class. As for the class type, I'm going to select actor, which is the simplest
An actor.
class we have right here. And I'm going to name it BP underscore debug menu and open it. Then I'm gonna go in the event graph. Then I'm only gonna need the begin play. So I'm gonna delete the other events. So to display the widget, we have to create it first because it's an object. And to do that, we can simply right click and search for create widget. Enter. Here we have to select our widget class. So if I click on the drop down menu, I should see my W debug menu right here. So click on it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. They got 14 seconds left in the Kansas game against Samford. Samford is down 3 now after a couple free points.
Samford and Sons.
Oh yeah, Samford Bulldogs. It looks like they missed a 3 with 5 seconds left, so they're probably lost.
So let's say later you want to be able to hide the widget or maybe destroy the widget because you don't need it anymore. It's going to be simpler if you already have a variable.
Yeah, very close game for Kansas.
I'm going to right click on the return value right here and select.
Yeah, they're going to play Gonzaga, who put away McNessie State.
And you can see in the top
And
right
Oregon beat South Carolina earlier today. I watched that one. That was really fun. Akron lost Crichton, who Oregon is going to play in the next round. And fun fact, Oregon's current coach, Dana Altman, actually coached at Crichton previously, and the guy who replaced him at Crichton after that is still coaching there. Yeah.
Nifty.
Has some long history there. And Colorado State lost to Texas after they had knocked off a Virginia team that people thought could have done something in a tournament. They just got stomped by Texas.
We could have done something.
Yeah.
Got stomped by Texas.
Yeah, probably would have lost to Texas too.
And we have a reference.
Yeah, and Tennessee won 83 to 49. I believe the biggest blowout of the day.
From the reference right here and
against St. Peter's.
To viewport.
Yeah, Tennessee looking quite good, even against a poor team.
Perfect. And that's it. The widget should now be visible in game. So let's compile, save, go back to the main tab and press play. Okay, I don't have my widget. And it's because I never added the BP debug menu in the level, so my begin play event is never called. So let's stop and add it.
Yeah, last couple of games were North Carolina beating Wagner, the 16th seed. Then it was Mississippi State versus Michigan, close one there. Michigan State managed to pull out a win. And Dayton beat Nevada in a close game, and then Arizona easily beat Long Beach. That was all the games today. At least I think. I don't think there was anything else happening.
We're back in the W debug menu. Here I'm going to delete all the.
It's crazy how many games they just have play during a day. And that's what they call March Madness.
Because it's maddening.
A widget, my first step is to replace the canvas panel by an overlay.
Okay.
I don't really like the canvas panel, and I prefer using an overlay. But it's up to you. You don't have to. So just to show you the difference, here with my canvas panel, I can take a button and drag it on top of it. Then I can place it wherever I want. So here, here, or there. But the overlay doesn't work the same way. The overlay limits where you can place.
Hook 'em horns, making Senator Armstrong proud.
More organized, but that's just my preference. So I'm just going to delete the button, and then right-click on the canvas panel, click on Replace With, and choose Overlay. Now, if I drag a button again, I can see it at the top left corner right there. And if you want to move it, you can't really drag it. You have to go in the top right corner. Here you have the slot category, and you can click on those buttons to place it where you want. So if you want it in the middle, you have to select middle and middle. So on the right, on the left, anything. As I said, it's not as flexible as the canvas panel, but I like the way it forces us to organize our widget.
Okay.
And I'm going to delete the button for now. So what do we need for our tab system? Well, we need buttons to click on them to select the tab. So let's say I have my tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. And then we need the widgets that are going to be visible when we click on the buttons.
Okay.
But let's start with the tab. So I'm going to re-add a button. Here on the left I have my button, and it's a good idea to rename it to make it clean. So button underscore tab 1. And then I'm going to add a text in the button to see the name of the tab. So I'm going to drag the text. I can either place it on the button itself in the viewport, or I can place it in the hierarchy right here. Same thing for the text, I'm going to rename it. So text underscore tab 1. And I'm also going to rename the text that is written on the text block. So on the right side here, we have text block. So I'm going to rename it to tab 1. Here we go. We now have the text.
Okay.
But we're going to need more than one tab. So I'm going to select the button tab, and I'm going to press Ctrl W to duplicate it. And Unreal created us the new button.
Well,
so I'm going to
hold on, that's not what had happened. Open it back up. Okay, hold on. What was... Mine's Control D. Nope, that crashed.
Nope.
That didn't work. Button tab 1. Yeah, I'll just right click duplicate this time. Sengoku Wars. This one. Taking my peels. Yes, open up the asset editors, please. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use the same overlay box that he does. We'll do a button. We'll put text on the button. We'll call the button button underscore tab 1. We'll call the text underscore tab 1. And we'll change it to just saying tab 1. Save, compile, and we will duplicate. Bingo. Easier.
Name it button underscore tab 2. Same thing for the text. So text underscore tab 2. And I'm going to go in the text content on the right side and type tab 2 also. Here we have our first problem. So we have the first tab and the second tab, and they are on top of each other. And we can see it better if I go on the right side here in the padding and I write a number. So let's say 100. Here we go. We have our first button and the second button right here. And it's the same thing if I duplicate the tab 2, let's say. I'm going to rename it tab 3.
Okay.
Same thing for the text and the text content right there. So now the tab 3 is on top of tab 2, so I can just adjust the padding to, let's say, 50. Here we go. So we have our 3 buttons, but that's not how we want to organize them. We want to have a nice horizontal line at the top right here. So we have our tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, and we can click on them. So how do we do that? Well, it's pretty simple. We can go on the left side right here. We have the panel section.
Panel section.
Just expand it. And if I scroll,
grid
I
panel?
can see the canvas panel we had at the beginning, the grid panel that lets us organize our widget in a grid shape, the horizontal box, the overlay, the scale box, we have the scroll box, the vertical box, widget switcher. We're all gonna use that later. But for now, we're gonna focus on the horizontal box.
Horizontal box.
So what it does is it's organizing the widgets in an horizontal way. And that's what we want, because we want to have tab 1, tab 2, tab 3 in an horizontal line. So let's drag it. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to place it in my overlay. Here it appears at the bottom.
For sure.
And it's right there. If I zoom, I have it.
Then you
right
just stick
here.
them all in it.
So now I can take my 3 buttons.
Now they look weird.
All 3 with holding control and drop it into
because I need to do this. There we go.
Didn't seem to work. Looks like all the buttons are on top of each other.
Mine totally worked. Why didn't yours work?
Right.
Oh, because he was playing with his offsets earlier.
So if I select tab 2, I can reset the padding in the top right corner.
His padding.
And same thing for tab 3. Top right corner, reset. And we now have a nice horizontal line of tabs. Here we go, we can compile and save. And actually, I don't really like the color of the tabs right now because they are white and the text is white also. So
yeah,
it's
me either.
Great. So I'm just going to select all 3 buttons. So control and select all of them. On the right side, there's the background color. So we can click on the color picker right there on the right. And then we can select the color we want, so red, green, whatever.
Nice gray.
But in my case, I'm going to click on the little color picker right here, and I'm going to select a shade of gray from the Unreal UI. So as you can see, we can move around and pick colors from anywhere. So I'm just going to click on, let's say here.
Nifty.
I like that shade of gray, so I choose it, and I press OK. We now have 3 gray tabs. Great.
Same.
We can even go see how it looks in the game. So let's say I go back in the entry and press play. In the top left corner here, I have my 3 tabs. Perfect.
Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3.
In the debug menu.
Debug
now
menu.
We have our tabs. The next thing we need is a container to contain all the tabs content. So something to display, let's say, tab 1 when I click on tab 1 and tab 2 when I click on tab 2. Only display those things. And the nice thing is, in Unreal, there's already a widget component that does exactly that. You tell it what to display, and it displays it. And the widget is named Widget Switcher. So we can take it and drop it on the overlay. Then we're going to rename it. So instead of 291, I'm going to name it Widget Switcher _ tabs content. And same thing as for the buttons, it appears in the top left corner, which is not
way up in there.
We want it to appear under the buttons. So to align the buttons horizontally, we used an horizontal box. So the logic is, if we want to align it vertically,
we use a vertical box.
We're gonna use a vertical box.
But put it in the horizontal box.
But we're not gonna use that one. Instead of taking it from the palette menu, we're going to go on top of the horizontal box. So right click on the horizontal box right here. Then select wrapped with, which is going to create a component for us and add it as parent of the horizontal box, which is exactly what we want. And then we can go down and select vertical box right there. So right now nothing changed, because let's say if I collapse the horizontal box, we can see that the widget switcher is not inside the vertical box, only the horizontal box. So I'm going to take it and drag it into the vertical box right there. So now the widget switcher is under the tabs like we wanted. The widget switcher is made to switch between widgets. And to show you how it works, we're going to add a few components in there. So I'm going to scroll back.
Mine looks different.
And let's say I'm going to add a button. So take the button, drag it into the widget switcher. I also want an image, so I'm going to take the
put an image
there also. A checkbox, why not? And maybe a progress bar. Let's
progress.
So now in the widget switcher,
we have
a button, an image, a checkbox, and a progress bar. But in the viewport, we only see the buttons. And this is because the widget switcher only displays the component that you want to display. The other ones are hidden. And let's say if I select the button, it shows the button, the image, it shows the image, the checkbox, and the progress bar. So we can see that it works. If we select them, Unreal shows us the one that we want to see. We can also go in the widget switcher, and on the right side, we have the active widget index, which is 0 by default. And this value is linked to the indexes of the children under the widget switcher. So right now, if I replace it by 1, 2, 3, and 4, we don't have a 4, so it doesn't work. So 0, 1, 2, 3.
Cool.
And it switches between our widgets. Perfect. And we can change this value depending on which tab we click. So if we click on tab 1, we show the widget 1. If we click on tab 2, the widget 2. And if we click on tab 3, show the widget 3. Now the next step is to link these buttons to the widget switchers. So when we click on the buttons, it changes the widget index right there. And to do that, we're going to select the button. So let's say I select tab 1. On the right side, I can scroll all the way to the bottom. And we have a few events for us.
On-clicked.
The pressed, the released, the hovered, and the unhovered events.
I see
in our case, we're interested by the clicked event. So we're going to click on the plus on the right side of the clicked event. And it creates an event for us.
Gonna go bet it? Have a go on IGP.
So go back in Designer,
select
the button, scroll all the way to the bottom, and click on Unclicked. And then go back in Designer, select the third tab, go all the way to the bottom, and create the events. Here we go, we now have our 3 events. We can now use them to affect the widget switcher index. So on the left side, I'm going to take the widget switcher _ tabs content. I'm going to drag it into the graph and do a get. And then from it, I'm going to search for set index. Set active widget index. There we go. And I can connect that to the tab 1.
And then that was just index.
The tab 1, I'm going to write index 1. And I'm going to copy paste this for the other events. So tab 2, connect them together, index 2. Tab 3, copy paste, index 3. So connect them, index 3. Perfect.
That makes
this should
sense.
already be enough to toggle between the widget. So we're gonna go try that. So compile, save, go in the level, press play. Here we have a widget that is already visible by default. I don't know
Bingo.
which one it is, but whatever. If I press on tab 1, it changes.
Oh,
to
that's
an
so
image.
cool.
If I press on tab 2, it goes to a checkbox. I think,
We might be able to
and tab 3
debug
is
the way that I did the
widget.
camera movement.
Let's say if I go on top of a dark surface, here I can see better. We have my checkbox, my progress bar, and my image that appears when I click on the widget. Okay, perfect. We can now stop and go back to the debug menu. Here I'm actually going to go back in Designer and change the components that are in the widget switcher.
For sure.
I'm going to replace them by a text so it's easier to see which tab it is. So I'm going to delete all of them. I'm going to take a text component, add it in the widget switcher, and duplicate it a few times. Here we go. So the first text block, I think I'm gonna name it no widget, because I don't want any widget in that case. We want a way to be able to hide all those widgets. For the first text block, I'm going to simply type tab 1, second one tab 2, and third one tab 3. So tab 2, and then third one tab 3. So now if we go back in the level, it should be easier to see which one it is. So tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Perfect. But now we don't have a way to hide this widget. So we don't have a way to show the no widget text right there. And I think the nicer way to do it, it will be that if I click on a tab that is already open, I just close it. So if I click on tab 2, it selects tab 2. And then if I click again, it hides it. So right now it doesn't work, but that's the feature I want to have. So let's do this. Stop, go back in the debug menu and in the event graph. But how do we do that in code? Well, here we have the widget switcher. And we are able to set the index. We are probably able to also get that index and maybe check if it's already the same as the one that we want to set before setting it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So from the widget switcher tab content, I'm going to drag and search for get active widget index.
Oops.
Here we have two choices, either the function or the variable. And in that case, it doesn't really matter. I don't actually know why there is two options right there. But I'm going to take the variable. So click on get active widget index at the bottom, right there. And I'm actually going to disconnect this from the event. So Alt and click on the link and move it away because I need more space. So what do we want? We want to compare the value of active widget index with the value that we want to set into the active widget index, which in this case is 1. So let's do it. I'm going to drag from the active widget index and type equal equal. And here I'm going to select equal integer. Here I can add an input, which will be 1, because in our case it's the because it's the index we want to use. And from the red output, I'm going to search for an if or a branch if you prefer. So branch. Here you go.
Branch.
So now, if the active widget index is equal to 1, the true pin will be fired. But if it's not the case, so if it's equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, or whatever, it's going to call the false pin, which is the pin that we want to connect to our set active widget index with the index 1 right there. And make sure to connect the branch back to the bottom. Last thing to do is to handle the true case. So what do we want to do if the active widget index is already equal to the one that we want to set? Well, we want to hide it, which means that we want to set the active widget also, but we want to set it to 0 instead of 1. So I'm just going to copy paste this node right here. And I'm actually going to copy paste this node over there. So it's closer.
Okay.
Now I'm going to hold Alt and click on the target to remove it from the set active widget index.
So what we have here is when you click the tab 1, we're going to do a little branch. And that branch is going to check to see if we're currently on 1. If we are on 1, it's going to send us back to 0. If we're not on 1, it's going to send us to... or if we're not on 1, it'll send us to 1. So then I just want to do basically, why did I do these when I can just take this, give me all of this, and just copy all this twice, basically. Boom, boom. And then what I want to do is I want to take this guy into this one, but this time we're checking if it's 2. If it's not, it goes to 0. Otherwise, it goes to 2. And then this one is checking for it to be on 3. And if it is not on 3, it goes to 3. So compile, Compile button. Error. Uh-oh. Oh, the target. I gotta change the target. There we go. Boom, boom. That one too. Try compile again. We look good. Okay. Hit play. So now we're on. There's tab 1. No widget. Tab 2. Click it again. No widget. Tab 3. No widget. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1. No widget. And I am just going to real quick go back into my designer and say the default is going to be 0. Save that, compile it, and we'll hit play, and it starts on no widget, and then I can tab through the widgets. Boom! Peace out, gamers. Oh, that was a while ago.
And I'm going to connect these two to my new copy of that part. It's already the same, so now if I click on tab 1, but if they are different, it's going to set it to the index that we want. Perfect, let's try this. I'm going to compile, save, and go in the game. So now if I click on tab 1 appears. Tab 2, tab 3, it's all good. And then tab 2, go back to tab 1. If I spam tab 2, nothing's different. We didn't change anything for that. Same thing for tab 3.
Correct.
But on tab 1, if we click it once, the tab 1 appears. But if we click it a second time, the no widget tab appears.
Perfect.
Which is the index 0. So now I can toggle between new. Okay. So here, what we could do is copy all those nodes right there and paste them for all the other tabs. So let's say tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh no, you're going to make a better way to do this.
Messy. And that's not what we want. So I'm going to Control Z all that. And instead of duplicating all that logic every time,
Going to make a variable that says set desired tab.
Call that function instead. So let's select all of that. And then I can right click on any of these nodes. So let's say I right click on the branch. There's the collapse to function button. I can also do it on the active widget or whatever. They all do it. So I'm going to right click and click on collapse to function. And Unreal creates a function for me. I'm going to rename it. So I'm going to name it set tab index because it's what we want to do. And I'm going to bring it closer. Now, since all the other buttons are going to also call that function, I'm going to delete the set active widget in all of them. And I'm going to replace it with my new function. So set tab index in all of them. But something is missing. We cannot set the index that we want anymore. So we have to add it. So in the inputs on the left side here, we can add a new parameter with the plus button right there. By default, it creates a boolean for us that is named new param. I'm going to rename it.
Where do you have this details ass button? Oh, because it needs a new input. Okay. Plus. And we want it to be a integer because it'll be an index.
With the name tab index. And for the variable type, we don't want to use a boolean. We want an integer, which is a number.
Yeah.
So now we can set the tab index to 1 when we click on tab 1, 2 when we click on tab 2, and 3 when we click on tab 3. Perfect. But for this to work, we have to change a few things in the function. So you can open the function by either clicking on the node, or you can double click it on the left right there. So what we have right now is, if we want to set the tab index to 1 right there, we first compare it with the active tab index widget to make sure that it's not 1. So if it's equal to 1, false goes here. Perfect. Otherwise, we hide the tab. But now we want this to work with the tab index that we're receiving right here. So we're simply going to replace the 1 by the tab index that we receive as input, like so. Perfect. It should work. Compile, save. Go back to the level, press play. So now if I press tab 1.
Wait, don't I have to change it? I have to change it in both of these, don't I? Like that. So I'm saying whatever tab index we get in, we check to see if we're currently on it by doing this equals to the branch. If it is true that it's on it, we go back to 0. If it's false, then we go back to what it is.
1, tab 1, no widget. Tab 1, no widget. Tab 2, widget. Tab 2, no widget.
Does his look different? No, he did drag it to both places.
Perfect.
Okay.
It should work. Compile, save. Go back to the level, press play. So now if I press tab 1, no widget. Tab 1, no widget. Tab 2,
perfect.
Widget. Tab 2, no widget. Tab 2, no widget. Tab 3, no widget. 3, no widget. Perfect. And I can switch between the tabs, no problem. Awesome, that's exactly what I want. Perfect. But there's one last thing that is missing. I want to quickly see which tab is selected, because right now they are all gray. It's not really easy to know which one it is, unless I read the text, and I don't really want to read. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is just highlight the selected tab by switching the background color right there. So let's say if I click on tab 3, the tab's going to be highlighted, and the content is going to be tab 3. So let's do this. I'm going to stop and go back in the widget. So what I'm going to do, after setting the tab index, I'm going to set the color of the background of the button. So I'm going to go on the right there, and I'm going to take the buttons. So tab 1, tab 2, and tab 3. For all of them, I want to set the background color. So I'm going to drag and search for set background color, which is the same thing we did at the beginning in designer. If I select a button right there, here we have the background color that we changed to make it gray at the beginning. So we're doing the same thing, but in code this time. So I'm going to duplicate this. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. But now, how do we decide which color we want to add right there? Well, it's the same thing as we did before. So if the widget index corresponds to the button, we set it to what we want. So we're gonna do the same thing for the color. But instead of using a branch, this time we're going to use a select node. So I'm just going to move these buttons down right there, and I'm going to drag out of in background color. Then I'm going to type select. In here I'm going to pick select color right there.
Select color.
And the way this node works is that it's going to pick either A or B based on the boolean that we're giving it. So let's do this. I'm just going to move it a little bit away, and I'm going to go back a little bit, and I'm gonna copy all these nodes. So the widget tab content, the active widget, and the compare here. I'm going to copy them and paste it back here. Since it's the button for the first tab, we're going to compare it with 1, and we're gonna connect it to the pick A input. So now, if it's equal to 1, we want to highlight the tab. So I'm going to click on A, and I'm going to choose a light color. So let's say this blue here, whatever. But if it's not true, so if it's B, I want it to be the same gray that I had in the editor. So I'm going to go back in the designer, go in my background color on my button, click on it, and then I can copy the X linear code right there.
Okay.
Press OK. Then I can go back in the graph, click on the B node here, and paste the X linear in the X linear tab.
Hex linear is what he is saying
now
right
if the
now.
active widget is 1, it's going to be blue.
Couldn't tell through the accent previously, huh?
Perfect.
X linear.
Right there. And make
What are you talking about? X linear.
sure to also connect it to the second one right there. So in both cases, it's going to update the buttons. So now we have to do the same thing for all the other ones. So I'm just
Why can't we like collapse this into like a
copy those,
just have it go down the line?
there, connect, and connect this together. And again, for the last one, I'm gonna move the color here, paste the nodes, connect them
So confused.
like so. Then I'm going to replace the indexes based on the button. So button 2, index 2, button 3, index 3. And that should work. So let's go try it.
This feels like a lot of copy paste, considering we were just like collapsing functions last
And if I
time.
click on them, they turn blue. So there's a blue 1, blue 2, and blue 3. We can go back in the code. So stop, go back. This code works, but it's not really pretty. So we're going to clean it a little bit. I'm just going to move everything right
Sucks.
there. Hold Alt and click on that pin right here to disconnect it. I'm going to copy all these nodes, so everything except the button, so just the background color and everything that selects the color for us. So copy, paste it right here. Instead of updating the button one by one, I'm going to use a for each loop to loop through all the buttons.
Okay,
So I'm
thank
going
you.
to drag from the target and search for each loop. Perfect. The for each loop wants to have an array, so an array of button, which is a list of buttons, so multiple buttons. So we're gonna make one for it. So drag from the array and search for make array. We can now add a few pins. In my case, I'm going to make sure that I have 4 elements in my array. And I'm going to link them with my buttons. So button tab 1, copy paste right here, and I'm going to link it to the 1. Button tab 2, copy paste, link it to the 2.
This makes sense.
Button tab 3, copy paste, and link it to the 3. Perfect. So now our array contains an empty element because we don't have any button for the no widget tab. And then we have the tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Perfect, we can connect the for each loop. So let's connect it to this one and that one. Then in the loop body, since we have an empty element in our array, we have to make sure that this element right here is valid. Otherwise it's gonna crash. Because Unreal is going to
When I hear him say that,
to something that
sounds like
exist.
anima.
And that's not good. So let's drag from array element and look for valid. We're gonna take the second one, is valid right there. This node comes with the is valid output pin and is not valid output pin. We're gonna connect is valid to the set background.
Which one did you pick? Did you pick the utilities is valid? Okay.
We're gonna take the second one, is valid right there. This node comes with the is valid output pin and is not valid output pin. We're gonna connect is valid to the set background color. And then we can connect it back to the loop. And the last thing we have to do to make it work.
Wait. Loop body exec is valid. Okay, like that.
Is to connect the array index to our comparison right here. If you don't know what
target comes straight across from the array element. Okay, yeah. The array element goes in there. The background color comes up in there.
for each loop is, here's how it goes. So I'm just going to move things around a little bit. It's going to fire the loop body pin for every element in the array. So it's going to fire once for the 0 index here, which is nothing. Then it's going to fire a second time for the button tab 1, a third time for the button tab 2, and a fourth time for the button tab 3. And every time the loop body fires, it updates the array element by the one that is in the array, and with the array index corresponding to that element. So in our case, the loop fires 4 times. We check if the element is valid because we don't want to set a background color to nothing when we are processing the array index 0. And if it is valid, we set the background color. For the color, we are selecting between blue and gray, depending if the array index corresponding to the element in the array correspond to the active widget index. So if the active widget index is 1 right now, we clicked on tab 1. If the array index right there is 1, it's going to set the blue. Otherwise, it's always going to set green. Let's just go try it. So
mine does. Oh, I got to take array index.
So I have my 3 tabs.
Compare it down here.
None of them are blue right now, and that's a problem. We're going to fix it. But first, click on a tab. So we have the tab 1 that is highlighted with the
there we go.
Click again. The highlight is gone, and the no widget appears. Perfect. Tab 2, same thing. Tab 3, perfect.
Love it.
Then if I toggle between them, it also works.
He also made this slightly blue.
Super fast, it works also. So the last thing we have to fix right now is the color at the beginning. Because right now, let's say my tab 3 is selected by default in the widget switcher. But my tab 3 at the top is not highlighted. And we want it to be highlighted. So let's do this. So stop and go back in the widget. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to call all that code at the begin play. So when the widget creates, it updates all the colors. But instead of duplicating that code, we're going to create a function out of it. So select all the nodes, right-click on one of them, and click on collapse to function, which I'm going to name update buttons colors. There we go. I can bring it back near the rest. And then what I have to do is go back in the event graph. And here at the top, we have 3 events. We have the pre-construct, the construct, and the tick. I'm going to delete the tick and the pre-construct for now. The construct is like the begin play, so it's going to be called once the widget is created in-game. And in our case, since we want to update the button colors at the beginning, this is exactly where we want to do it.
This is where I just do update button color.
Let's drag from the left, update color buttons, and connect it to the construct. So at the beginning of the game, it's going to call this function, which updates all the colors of the button based on which widget is active. So let's compile, save, and go try this. Right now, when I press play, the tab 3 is highlighted, so that's perfect. And I guess that's enough for this video. So in the next video, we're going to start adding stuff in those tabs so we can debug our game with a nice debug menu.
Okay, cool. So we've got a camera that moves around and doesn't freak out anymore. as it moves. I'm gonna try to do something. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do let's okay, we got button tab, widget switcher.
As I say, you're gonna try to figure out one thing here on your own.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put a slider in this bitch.
Let's go.
We're gonna do this. Okay. The slider is shit. Okay, so when no widget is selected, padding. So these things are automatically arrayed down, I believe. So now if I just hit save and compile, now I would be able to go tab 1 and there's a slider. Okay. All right. So now my slider. Let's make my slider a little less tiny. Let's see. Slider bar color is fine. Max value. We're gonna make the max value 20. And the min value 1. Save. Okay, and then I want to make horizontal's great. Step size by 0.01 is fine. Performance rendering. Does it have to be so dinky looking? Can we make this? Come on. Somebody get me some slider Viagra around here.
I'd say you should definitely be able to resize it somehow.
I would think. Okay, appearance. Value. Okay. Slider bar color. Style. Oh, bar thickness. Here we go. We get thicken up. Ooh, we got. Okay, how do I make the bar bigger? Normal bar image, disabled bar image. Okay. On value change of slider, I want to set, what did I call it? Move speed? Set move speed. And I'm going to take, split that struct. We're just going to plug this value in, both of them. Okay. All right. I think I did it. Oh, wait, hold on. I got unsolved compilation editors. Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
Target. This should be the pawn. BP underscore pawn.
BP underscore pawn no Michi.
No, hold on. Get BP underscore pawn. Get pawn. Get player pawn. Player pawn reference is not compatible with BP object reference. What the hell is then? Context sensitive. How would I? How come I can set a variable in something else? But why can't I target the camera? Pawn. Pawn. Target self is not a BP pawn, therefore target must have a click. I know that. I know that. What I want to know is why can't I make this the... Why can't I make this public? I can set the move speed. Target can't be self, though. Target has to be get player pawn. That is an error. Like, immediately. It won't even let me click it. What if I do get player controller? No, that doesn't work either. Here I was. How to use widget with pawn to change speed. See if we can get that specific. He says its own HUD. Change movement speed. Okay, move to location, blah, blah, blah. Movement speed's there. The character move mode is saying for watch speed. Blah, blah, blah. No, that's not useful. How do I access this? What the heck would this be? It's not just BP underscore pawn? No, that one still errors out. That's a warning. I got a warning on that one. Dang it. Here I thought I'd be all cool and like be able to change the movement speed by wait, hold on. Set move speed XY. What if I make a new variable? That isn't that one. What if I take this and can I promote this to variable? Yeah, promote that to variable. It's a float for some reason. Variable name is going to be new move speed. And it will be public, so anyone can access it. And if I go into the pawn, and I take the pawn and I say, here's move speed. And I get new move speed here. And I go set move speed. Hold on. Don't do it that way. I want to bring this guy off. I want to do bring set move speed as just a variable here. Okay. Yeah, we're going to set the move speed and then we'll move on with this. And this is we're going to split this. New move speed goes there. New move speed goes there. This comes out and goes there. Okay. Let's see if we're genius. No, dang it.
That lasted
Target.
A very short amount of time.
Underscore debug. I can't. Oh, how do I make these like vectors or these variables public so I can use them? So like how do I make a variable in the widget change? Anyway, I guess I'll do that next time. We'll put this back. I know what I can do. I can print the string of whatever new move speed is. That's what I'm going to do. Play. Okay, tab 1. Oh, it's bigger. Oh, it's smaller. Oh, it's bigger.
I said those guys look pretty small, yeah.
Why is this such a tiny ass little thing? Why is it so dinky?
Can't even, like, window drag it to make it bigger.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's all wacky. I got paddings for it. Is variable. Slider handle color. Bar color. Advanced. I can change the thickness of the bar. But I can't do anything with any of that. We'll just have to do a tab soda. Tabs! Like tabs on a file. You goober. Gosh, I haven't heard of tab soda since like my grandma was alive.
That umbrella guy?
Transform. Oh. Oh. Oh, I made it wider. I don't want to make it wider though. I just want I want to just make it longer. Performance is volatile? I don't know, man. Maybe it is. All right. I'm out of here. Everybody, have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will catch you all tomorrow for some Fun Time Friday. I'm pretty sure that's still on the cards. Let me double check.
Yeah, you had it on there.
I know it's on there. Oh. Just want to make sure I didn't accidentally put something. Oh, shoot. No, I can't. It's off there. Oh, what a week. What a week. Okay, I'll see everybody Monday. No Fun Time Fridays. I'll see you all Monday. Love you all. Peace. Not peace. Kampai, everyone.